Fucking hello, everyone. Oh my gods. I feel very proud of. It's one song playing for 7 minutes, but I just feel so hyped listening to The Painful Way coming in. I chose it literally because I was like, yeah, this is Halloweeny enough. It has that like ghosty synth. That's Halloweeny. Also, I'm proud of thinking of grabbing some sort of like calmer version of Painful Way to play in the background. You can't really hear it right now. It starts up kind of slow, but it's something to play in the background while I yap for a while. Because I'm gonna yap for a while. Because oh my god, I'm so fucking excited to start the October streams. I hope you're as hyped as I am. I really love October so fucking much. Um, it's the month with Halloween in it. It has all the scary vibes. My birthday's in October. Um, just a lot to love about October. I'm so excited. I can barely contain myself. I'm so fucking excited. So much is planned out. Emily has done October streams before or done themed streams in October before, but this is the first time that we've like planned the entire month ahead of time. So like I literally have a schedule put somewhere. I'm kind of becoming a real streamer because I'm also just planning for future. I'm like, well, if I'm gonna make a schedule for October, why not like ahead of time make a schedule for games I plan to play in time after that? So I'm becoming a bit of a real streamer. That's kind of neat. Um, the new overlay, it is very cute, done by, as always, by the wonderful, amazing, talented, and might I say also quite adorable Sleepy Marshmallow, who unfortunately won't make it today, because he's doing some really cool shit instead. But everyone say thank you, Cass, because we love Cass. Cass is so talented. I feel so much joy starting up. I'm so excited for October streams. I'm so excited for all the games we have. There's like 6, 7 games across the month we're gonna be playing, that fit the theme, that are really, really fun. Now, okay. I will say, I'm a little bit embarrassed because I did plan to come in costume from the beginning of the month, but to be honest with you, I paid the ADHD tax a little bit. I ordered my costume a little late, so we're gonna have to wait for the PNG tube delivery service to get it here. The UPPS, I guess, the United PNG Tube Postal Service, something like that. Yeah, that makes enough sense to me. So we're gonna have to wait a little bit. I'm not gonna be in costume quite yet, but I'm very excited for when I do get to be, because I really like it. Um, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited for October streams. I can't say it enough. I just want to keep talking about how so hyped and excited I am. I feel like these are going to be really, really fun. I like scary stuff. I like fall stuff. I like autumn stuff. I like Halloweeny themes so much. I'm so fucking excited for what we've got going on. Um I figured that the best way to start off is with the scariest thing I can possibly think of. Which is an ace lesbian lusting over men. I feel like it's a pretty good start. Hello, 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 hello. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I can't say it enough. I'm so hyped. Oh man, I will say I was proud of the putting the bass line in, but I can't hear it over myself, which is a little embarrassing. Okay, maybe it's not as cool as an idea as I thought it was. Maybe I'll find something else. Love the overlay. Yes, Cass is so fucking talented. I love Cass so much. We also have a new main overlay that I will show momentarily. I'm so excited. Happy Halloween month. I love Halloween month so much. Oh, excuse me. Oh my gods. Okay. I could make up for not yet having a costume, um, by appearing to you as an apparition. a little ghosty. Is that a good? Is this a good trade? Appearing maybe like a ghost, or as if I'm like sitting in my room, astral projecting to your computer screen right now. Does this work? That's almost like a costume. Yeah, it's close enough. It's a nice little. It could be a nice little consolation in the meantime. Just was fucking around. I was fucking around for like 20 minutes in Streamlabs because I was just so excited. You also really like my talk sprite. You don't even say this before, but it looks nice. Also the work of Cass. Literally every time you see anything on screen, Cass did it. It's a pretty safe assumption. Yeah, Cass is very talented. I really like my PNG as well. Yeah. Okay. I want to just talk about how excited I am and not even get into it. I'm just excited enough to be here streaming in October. And this is like plenty for me right now. I could sit on the starting soon screen for like 2 hours just going, oh my god, I fucking love October. Not like, and that should be the whole stream actually. Maybe if we have an extra stream, I'll just sit here listing things I like about October. Now let's get started. I am so excited to get into spooky vibe games. Very, very, very excited. Okay. Oh wow, I perfectly talked to the end of the music. That's kind of impressive. Actually, let me get this out of here. Okay, will the full screen capture it? That sure would be nice, wouldn't it? How scary would I say this game is? And also, is it bloody or gory? Oh, that's loud. That's a little bit loud. Hopefully we get some content warnings, because I actually just remembered that I wanted to, do that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, is it because I'm clicked off of it? Oh, okay. Here, let me look up the content warnings right now. That's really loud. Am I crazy? Maybe it's just loud in my ears. Hold on. Okay, let me look. Oh. Oh, it's because I clicked it. Okay. Let me see. Touch-starved. Content warnings. I think it might get a little icky, but only a little bit. Serious injury is what I see here. It seems... more information. That's not the more information I wanted. There's violence, there are references to alcohol and drugs. There are horror vibes, but I don't think there's gonna be, like, jump scares or anything. I think it's just gonna be, like... you know? Serious injury. That's the thing that gets me. That's the thing that I'm kind of curious about. Let me see. Looking. Let me look for a review. This is the one thing that I missed. I planned so much and I forgot to do this part. Yeah, I do. That is the thing that I'm worried about. At some point, there will be blood. There will be a pool of blood visible. That is the so if you're squeamish to the existence of blood, then I would watch out. Someone says graphic violence as well. From this review that I'm looking at, that I feel trusting in, I don't know that graphic violence entails seeing anything. Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. I'm suddenly very warm. Whoa. Let me go ahead and do a little more looking. It is rated for mature audiences. Either way, you hope I enjoy it. Thank you so much. I am feeling pretty confident I'm going to enjoy it. I feel like I'm gonna have a good time. Let me go ahead and put some content warnings in. For violence and I kind of want to put in quotation marks serious injury. If since that's what they say. Happy spooky month! Oh my god, you did make it! I lied to everybody. Everybody say thank you, Cass. These overlays look so amazing. You're so talented and we love you so much. Say all of that. You're required. Oh! Dismemberment is also... Why don't I... Should I put dismemberment in the title? Forget what I said, but imagine you saying it. I'm imagining. Well, that rocks, Ma. You're so sweet. Yeah, you're not saying... That's reasonable. Okay. Serious injury. Dismemberment. Alright. Cool. That's crazy. I'm glad that someone caught me, and we will be remembering to put them in for future streams, because we meant to do that anyway. I know there was a game that we were already planning on doing it for. I won't say which one, Smile. But we're actually going to plan on doing it for every game now. Because we already planned on that, but I just forgot. Because I got so focused on so many other things. In my excitement, I forgot to do the things to, like, prepare. Anyway, how are we doing volume-wise? I know it was a little loud in my ears. I don't know how loud it is in everyone else's ears. Let me also take a minute to check something as I've asked that. Literally, it's my first time opening the game, so I didn't do anything. I wanted to open it in case there was anything to see on the way in. Ooh, so I didn't test any audio or anything. Seems alright. I will take seems alright. Okay. New game. Let's go. Oh, disclaimers. Streamers and content creators should turn music volume to 0 in order to disable copyrighted music. No! I'm so upset. Falls to my knees. OTL. I'm so devastated right now. No music? Okay. No streamer friendly mode. I was about to say, I hope that at some point they do make a streamer friendly mode. Cause that's upsetting. That is a little disappointing, but also that is a lot of work to put in. Because then you have to presumably either find licensed or what unlicensed? No, wait, yeah, licensed music, right? License free music, is that what I'm thinking of? And quality on that is gonna vary. Or you have to get somebody to make music for you, and that costs a lot of money. Still kind of sad about that. This is demo of the touchstarved prologue and not the finished product. Thank you. Yeah, sure thing. Okay, content warning. touchstarved is intended for an older audience and contains mature content that includes but is not limited to horror, graphic violence, strong language, alcohol and drug references, injury, and dismemberment. Player discretion is advised. If you accept the content warning, please click to proceed. What if I just sit here? Nothing would happen. In touchstarved, your choices matter. The decisions you make may result in unique dialogue interactions or even choices in red text, which contain exclusive content. Try playing through the demo more than once and choosing different options. You might even uncover a secret ending. Oh. And remember, there are no wrong choices, only interesting ones. Choose wisely and save often. I feel like that message is for us as a system in particular. I feel like Cass will be very happy to see us told to save often because we don't save enough. This is well known about us. We don't save often enough. You can rewind text and dialogue or progress it with the mouse wheel. Interesting. You had the UI with space. I appreciate that. I'm sure I'll appreciate that a lot. We balance each other out. It's true, because you save all the time. Which is way better, though. It's a way better way to play. I think it would be better to take out way too much time to save than to never save. Because if you take out way too much time, you will always have a save to go back to. Choose your name. Nyx. I could also put in muted, but I'll go with Nyx. Choose your pronouns. Okay, hold on. Hold on a second. I'm so upset. Voice volume. Is that so? Is that so? She, her. Oh. Let me get some water. I feel I was tricked. I was like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna have to read. Oh no, I am gonna have to read. Just a little less than I thought. This world began to unravel long before you were born. It began with fogfall. Spectral mist bled from the seams where reality wore so thin it split. And from that fog emerged monsters, inhuman beings with unnatural powers. Some possessed language and intellect, others were mindless beasts driven by little more than the desire to slaughter. As cities fell and unrest spread, humans united in their fear, while monsters thrived in the chaos. And then there's you. Yeah, I assume the voices are like a little bit of voice lines visual novels tend to have, but who knows? Yeah, so looking into it before the stream, I was actually looking up if there were voices, and I saw partial voice acting confirmed for the full game. And so I was like, oh, okay. So it's not going to be in the demo. But I guess it is going to be in the demo. Yeah, so I think it actually is going to be that. Who am I? You're not even sure if you're human. You were born cursed, with hands that alter the minds of anyone you touch. Choose your backstory. What is my backstory? Ooh. The unnamed fallen oracle, the hound or forsaken thief, or the alchemist and abandoned mage. Okay. I already really do love what I'm looking at. I'm very upset to have to turn the music off. Maybe we'll find some music to turn on in the meantime. The unnamed fall. Does this mean we don't get to hear Dan Avidan every time we touch? This is fucked up. This is fucked up. Okay, the unnamed. You were raised as an oracle in a remote temple. The priest claimed your touch bestowed enlightenment, but a visiting mage revealed your curse for what it is. Following the mage's word, you fled in search of the cenobium. You regularly experience unnatural premonitions that rattle your body and soul. An innate sixth sense gives you a heightened awareness of hidden supernatural presences around you. Interesting. The Hound. You were raised by society's outcasts, criminals who accepted you when nobody else would. Your partner in crime, a friend since childhood, helped you steal enough money for a cure, then betrayed you. They left you with only enough coin to travel to the cenobium, your last hope. You have sharply honed social intuition. You can survive and even thrive in the violent underbelly of any city, using your experience with the underworld to get ahead. Or the alchemist. An exiled cenobium mage took you in as a child, raising you as her apprentice. She seemed to take pity on your curse, but you discovered that she was cultivating you as a test subject. You fled to the cenobium seeking a cure. You are an experienced spellcaster with encyclopedic knowledge of alchemy, spellcraft, and history. With a little observation, you can identify the subtle effects of magic. I don't know which one I want to go for. All of these seem a little bit interesting. I think I probably lean towards the alchemist, and then I think the unnamed is the one that interests me the least. I think I care least about having religious trauma. I'd rather have other kinds of trauma. Um, I like having social intuition. I could go with the hound, be a little rogue. I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm just gonna do that. Executive streamer decision. I think I'll be the hound. It's gonna be so awkward without music, I feel like. You love Rogue, so you approve? Sick. Your name is Nyx. You selected she, her pronouns. Your backstory is the Hound. Is this correct? Could always play some music. I'll think about it. There's also a world. Okay, here's the thing about not playing music, though. The stream will be a little lower on interest. But if I choose to edit this in the future, then I can put music in the background that won't get chopped up along the way. And that could be interesting. We'll see. I'll think about it. Oh. The wasteland stretches as far as the eye can see. There's nothing out here but death. The ever-present stench of decay and countless sun-bleached bones cast like seeds across the barren land. Whoa, my land. I'm good. Oh wait, is this me? Oh, okay, sorry. I could say death doesn't scare me, but to tell the truth, I'm desperate. It's been 2 weeks since I joined a caravan bound across the wastes. Finding a group that would accept me was a trial in itself. As rations grew sparse and my canteen ran dry, I began to despair. But then I saw it! I try to find non-copyrighted spooky music. True. Aridia, the city of knowledge, one of the last bastions of humanity left in the world and home to the famous academy called the Cenobium. All the world's knowledge gathered in one place. If there's anywhere I'll find a cure for my curse, it's there. The art is very pretty so far. I really like it. It reminds me a little bit of Hades, I think. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the specific part of Hades that I'm thinking of. I feel like this is how like when you walk up to the little like ledge and the camera moves to show you the city you're about to enter. It reminds me of that, I think. Uh, may I? All that stands between me and a cure is a final stretch of salt-soaked wastes. Or so I think, until I see the first tendrils of fog snaking beneath the wagon. Huh! Is this fogfall? My stomach sinks at the very whisper of it. A silent storm more devastating than fire. Dangerous in cities, but a death sentence beyond them. A thick blanket of fog engulfs us, smothering out the lantern's light. The wagon lurches to a stop. An eerie silence heavy as the mist falls over us. The only warning we get is a strangled scream. Oh, fuck! The cry dissolves into wet gurgling. Ugh! Oh, okay. Ah! Sound! A sound happened! Then the wagon violently pitches to the side. I hit the ground hard, the air punched from my lungs. When I opened my eyes, adrenaline lent sudden awful clarity to the carnage around me. Oh! A trader I once shared bread with lies face down in the mud, their back reduced to long strings of torn muscle, gleaming gristle, and exposed bone. Bodies litter the wasteland. Whoa! I try to rise, but my ankle explodes with pain so blinding, white blooms across my vision. Only when my eyes adjust do I see the dark shape in front of me. Whoa! Okay. Chat, you gotta be honest. Would. If I'm totally honest with you, if I'm 100% honest with you, I wish this was the first romanceable character. Maybe this is truly what I wanted out of October streams, was to see monsters come up on my screen and talk about how I want to lay them. I like this thing. A solo stoops over the twisted form of a caravaner. I freeze, but it swivels its head. A dozen bulging eyes twitch in my direction and blink as one. Ah! The Solus lets out an ear-splitting shriek and runs at me. Oh, fuck. Oh, no! Don't get me! Right before it reaches me, the beast barrels past, vanishing into the mist. Distantly, a horse screams in the dark. I need to move now. Run for the city or head towards the wagon? The wagon's on its side. I feel like taking the time to get the wagon up and hopefully get it moving, I feel like running for the city is the better option. What if I save right now? Let's get our first save. We have 1 billion slots, so by 1 billion I mean about 100. Let's go for the city. I take off, running deeper into the haze. The fog is so thick that I fear I'm headed in the wrong direction until I see a dim pinprick of light emanating from the shadow of a spire. It's faint, but it's enough. I came too far to die here. Rapid footsteps echo all around me. I turn in circles, frantically searching the opaque mist for the source. The fogfall twists and stretches sound. Suddenly, the caravan's driver bursts forth from the fog. Our eyes meet too late. Oh, fuck! Did I just get hit by a car? I guess a wagon. He slams into me, knocking me to the ground, and slips in a patch of mud. The Solus falls on him as soon as he slows. Oh, no, we were running into each other. I see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the driver of the wagon was running around. Got it. It catches the driver by his throat and rakes his stomach with razor-sharp claws. Me next? Me next. What? Oh no! Oh, no, not the driver! It comes apart like wet paper. Oh, Jesus. Spilling intestines and viscera in a steaming tide. That's crazy. Fighting the urge to heave, I claw frantically through the slippery muck for a handhold. Shit! My hand catches on the jagged edge of a rib jutting up from the water. Bandages unfurl around the gorge torn deep into my palm. The pain's quickly forgotten when a hand closes around my wrist. Oh. Can you stand? One of the travelers in the caravan leans over me. We need to run! They reach for my hand and I realize too late that my bandages have come undone. Oh no! No, don't touch me! Sensation of their thumb brushing the back of my hand sends a shiver down my spine. All it takes is one touch. In the space of a breath, my curse takes hold. Whoa! The lips peel back into a deranged grin. I'm so sad. Did my mic not pick that up? That was a great deranged laugh. You're just gonna have to imagine it. No, I've seen this face countless times before. This is my curse. Madness of my own making. The grip of my hand tightens until pain radiates from my knuckles. Let me go. Suddenly, clammy hands crush my throat, choking off my breath. Holy shit. Die! Die, 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 die! Spit bubbles at the corners of their mouth and flecks my face. The edges of my vision darken as my lungs scream for air. Nix, I think we gotta kill this guy. My nails gouge deep into the traveler's wrist, but no matter how much blood I draw, they don't flinch. Oh, fuck. The more I struggle, the tighter their grip grows. My pulse hammers in my ears, slowing with each thudding beat. This can't be happening. I'm going to die. Not because of the fog fall or the soulless, but because of my own curse. Tears sting my eyes. No, 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 not here. Not like this. The hands drop from my neck, leaving me wheezing for air. My lungs burn with each ragged cough. My vision clears, and the traveler's face takes shape, hovering inches from mine, lips still split in a macabre smile even as blood seeps between their teeth. They give one last shuddering breath, then slump over the claws hooked through their stomach. Oh my god, the soul has saved me! It's literally meant to be. It's meant to— I was right. I'm literally correct. The soulless shoves the body aside, and the glowing eyes studding its leathery skin thin as though grinning. He's happy to have saved me. There's a flash of claws. Red spills across my vision. I thought there'd be pain, but as I sink into the murky water, all I can feel is the grit of silt filling my mouth and the icy embrace of shallow water. Distantly, I notice an arm resting among an outcrop of reeds. Mine neatly severed at the elbow. Oh, shit! Should have taken both arms. Without them, maybe I could have survived. Maybe I could have had a home. Instead, I'll die cold, alone, and face down in a desolate wasteland. Fitting end for a monstrosity like me. Did I already fucking die? If this is death, it's not as bad as I feared. The cold is gone, as is the choking stench of bog water. I could drift forever, cocooned in oblivion, until all thought and sensation vanished. No curse, nobody howling at me in madness and terror, nothing at all. Thought has a terrible appeal to it. But the next moment I take a reflexive breath. Air pours into my lungs, then out again in a ragged gasp. Feeling comes flooding back. Warm cloth on my bare skin, a firm surface underneath me, strange tang of sulfur in the air. Do not be afraid. I don't know who you are. Oh, hello. Twist my head towards the voice. Tears flood my blurry vision at the bright glow of lamplight. Try not to move. Voice is calm, steady, and commanding, but more importantly, it's a stranger's voice. One thought cuts through my mental fog. I have no idea who this is, and I'm completely at their mercy. Why'd you write it that way? Stay away from me! My words come out in a little more than a creaky whisper. I clamp my mouth shut, hating how weak and helpless I sound. Oh, yeah, yeah, stay away from me. There we go. Was that good? Was that weak and submissive enough? No. No? Who the hell is this? You've joined to not pay attention but have me in the background of laundry day. Okay, cool. You missed me lusting over a horrid beast who almost killed me. I'm gonna sit up. I'm gonna challenge this man. The fuck do you think you are? I managed to push myself up on one elbow, but my head swims, my surroundings give an alarming lurch. Stubborn patient. Don't have the strength to dignify that with a response. Instead, I pull the sheet up higher and wipe my eyes until my vision clears. The stranger towers over my prone form. Warm light reflects off his pristine medical coat. Ooh. Sorry, air in my chest. Bad time. I instinctively shrink back, and that's when I notice I'm completely naked except for a thin linen sheet. Brother, leave my clothes on. Naked, lying on a low cot, with a pair of sharp golden eyes watching my every move. The man's gaze flickers to my exposed, unbandaged hands. Plunge my hands under the sheet to hide them from sight, though it's too late. He must have noticed what they look like. Strange. Cursed. Inhuman. I braced myself for his inevitable suspicion and disgust, but his expression doesn't even flicker from that courteous smile. He just watches in placid silence as I struggle to make sense of my surroundings. Where am I? Who are you? Be calm. You're safe here. Whoever this is, he clearly has no idea who or what I am. Never been safe anywhere, with anyone. The only people I ever trusted betrayed me for a fat purse of coin. I scowl, pulling the sheet protectively around myself. I only imagine... I know that this is me, so I'm doing myself dirty by saying this, but I imagine Blitz in Apology Tour with the, like, tablecloth. That's what I just immediately imagine. Where are my clothes? Drake? Where are my clothes? I don't know if I like that when they're... Let's move on. The man's golden eyes narrow slightly. A sharp sigh rustles the papers in his hands. I see you're not to be dissuaded. Your clothes were torn to shreds when I found you, but I procured replacements. Soft creak, he stands from his chair, giving me a better view of my surroundings. I seem to be in some sort of medical clinic. Bottles of silvery alchemical... Is that how you pronounce that? Silvery alchemical concoctions line the counters in neat rows. Air makes my nose twitch, a faint whiff of smoke and something distinctly metallic that I can't quite place. The doctor produces a large, dense bundle of cloth, which he sets at the foot of my cot. He's easily a head taller than most, and I have to crane my neck to look at him. Damn it, I'm short! This is the scariest thing of all! Do you, get out of here a minute? I lift my head, looking defiantly into those golden eyes. Yep. Could you step out first? I'm not getting dressed with you standing here. To my surprise, the man's mouth quirks. I was not planning on watching. Still smiling to himself, he disappears through a narrow door. I hear a soft click as the lock turns behind him. Did you just lock me in? I count to 3 in the sudden silence. When I don't hear any more footsteps, I reach for the bundle of clothes. Oh, fuck yeah, I have trust issues. Let's go. Ha! Just like the real Nyx. Ha 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 ha! An itch on my elbow stops me short. I reach down absently to rub it, then freeze my fingers made a neat line of stitches. I know what I saw. That piece took my arm clean off. And yet my arm shows no sign of injury apart from the black stitches poking through my skin. I gingerly flex my fingers, feeling my heart race at the sensation. This is impossible. I should be dead, or at the very least, gasping out my last breaths. I squeeze my eyes shut, waiting for the pleasant dream to unravel, to wake up bleeding out in the swamp. But nothing happens. The seconds tick by, and my arm remains resolutely healed, my surroundings pristine and quiet. In numb disbelief, I reach for the replacement clothes and begin stiffly putting them on. They're thicker and warmer than mine were, with a black woolen cloak to go with them. There's one thing still missing: my bandages. The golden-eyed man didn't leave me with any, even though I know he saw my hands. I slide off the bed and take a few unsteady steps towards one of the drawers. This is indeed a doctor's clinic. There must be bandages somewhere. Start opening drawers at random, and of course that's when the door swings open once more. Are you looking for something? I whirl around, clutching a thick roll of clean bandages. Try to step back from him, but my legs bump up against the edge of the cot. Your caution is understandable, though if I meant you any harm, you would know. It doesn't make me feel better in the slightest, but he makes no move toward me, so I quickly wind the bandages around my hands. Glowing scars and mottled skin. Mottled? What the fuck does mottled mean? Okay, hold on. Quick adventure to look up the word mottled. What is a mottled? I mean, I feel like it's like, it feels like, not like rattled, but it's like, I feel like if you were to strangle someone, their neck would have been mottled. That's what my brain thinks. I'm sure that's not what it is. But that's what it sounds like to me. Marked with spots or smears of color. I guess technically the thing I said could be true, but that's not really what I was thinking of. Okay. Glowing scars and mottled skin disappear under a layer of clean white cotton. Whoops, I clicked the wrong thing. Hold on. We're good. May I ask why you need additional bandages? I clenched my jaw. I knew it'd only be a matter of time before he asked about my hands, so the way he does it is strangely roundabout. Yeah, that is a little, like, do you not? Like, do you just see this and go, yeah, no, that's just a way for a person to be. Honestly, very open-minded, now that I think about it. That's actually really cool, that he would see someone with, like, what could just be, like, I don't know, like a skin condition and goes, wait, sorry, why do you need all that? You know what? No, this guy's cool. I mean, my character in this game, very distrusting, is like, you know what's going on here, and you're trying to be a little freak about it. But no, this is reasonable. I should be fair. Clicks some things. Yeah, I'm just gonna, I can say nothing, glare at him, or just say I don't have to tell you anything. I think I'll at least say I'm just not gonna answer you. Well, it's a very personal question, and I don't really want to answer. Is that so? Surely you realize that I can only help if you tell me what ails you. An involuntary snort of laughter escapes me. Where would I even begin? Would he even believe me if I told him? No, best to keep my curse to myself for now and learn more about him first. Who are you? You may call me Curris. And where exactly am I? Aridia, which I assume was your caravan's destination. I can think of nowhere else for a group of travelers to go. Aridia. So I made it to the City of Knowledge after all. I should feel relieved, but all I can manage is a vague sense of increasing unease. How did I end up here? I brought you to my clinic, of course. You were the only survivor from the caravan barely clinging to life. You need immediate treatment. Needed immediate treatment. Treatment? Okay. You needed immediate treatment. Which you provided? Yes. He says it so simply, as if I'm a small child and he's explaining basic addition to me. Sorry, I thought I skipped over text. I frown and flex the fingers on my recently healed arm. Aside from being a bit stiff, it feels fine. Thoroughly attached to me. You're saying that you stitched my arm back on? Pardon? Solus attacked the caravan. It ripped everyone to shreds. It tore my arm clean off. But when I woke up here, I trail off bewildered. I've never heard of any magic that could heal a mortal wound like that. What kind of person could do such a thing? Dr. Curris pinches the bridge of his nose. He sits back down in his chair, quiet for a long time. Do not know where you come from, but Iridia is the city of knowledge and deadly secrets alike. Information is power, and it is most unwise to give or receive it freely. Since you refuse to divulge your secrets, I will not divulge mine. I do not even know your name. You are new to Iridia, so I'll overlook this specific breach of etiquette. However, you should not expect others to extend the same courtesy. Do you understand? He looks pointedly at my freshly bandaged hands. Okay, listen. I gotta say, this man can't keep talking down to me like this. I feel he's very, like, it's like, you would do well to follow my direction. Do you understand? Do you follow what I'm telling you? Can you do that for me, Nyx? I feel like I know the vibe that this guy is going to continue to give off, and I'm not sure I'm prepared for it. Loath though I am to admit it, he has a point. I'm also a complete stranger to him, and if he's telling the truth, he saved my life. Take a deep, steadying breath. This time when I speak, I sound a bit more like myself. Nyx. My name is Nyx. It is a pleasure to meet you, Nyx. There's a little more warmth in his smile, his polite demeanor back in an instant. Yeah, I think I'm gonna ask why you saved me. If there's anything I've learned, is that everybody wants something. With a world in such peril, no one reaches out a hand without expecting something in return. Can I ask, why did you save my life? You don't know me. The question seems to startle Curris. I could hardly leave you to die in the wastes. Assisting those in need is the very essence of a doctor's duty. I've never met a doctor who also handed out free clothes. My fingers find the edge of the cloak. There's a subtle but delicately embroidered pattern around the hem. Try not to think about what kind of price Curse might ask for such well-made clothes. No, I suppose not. Forgive my presumption. I rarely come across so fascinating a patient. I blink. What did he just say? I simply meant that few would cling to life so resolutely or brave such a perilous journey to Iridia. I could not help being curious about you, Nyx. His voice dips to a soft murmur and he abruptly looks away from me. Yeah, I don't know what to say to that. I honestly don't know what to say. If you knew more about me, you might not like me as much as you think. Doctor or not, he wouldn't want to risk his life or sanity over me. No one ever does. Ow! I'm so traumatized. Peculiar thing to say. Why would I have cause to dislike you? And here we are, back at my curse, the thing I've been desperate to avoid discussing. Loud knock at the front door stopped. Okay, I love how it was this like, whoa, and it's just a little knock, 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 knock. I feel like we're getting two different vibes. Loud knock at the front door stops our conversation cold and spares me from having to say anything else. Duty calls. Unfortunately, you are not my only patient today. The knocking grows more insistent, and Curris lets out a tired sigh. Please wait your turn. Though he says it quietly, the clamor on the other side of the door abruptly stops. Do you need anything before you leave, Nyx? Oh. Between the Solus attack and my miraculous survival, I'd almost forgotten why I came to Iridia in the first place. I need directions to the cenobium. The cenobium? The look on his face is downright chilling. He pauses, choosing his words with cool deliberation when he speaks again. Whatever you seek, it is very unlikely you will find it there. Cenobium's gates open for precious few visitors. Even if they did, you would not like what you found inside. Cleaning bed stuff, turns out all your plushies together don't fit into the washing machine. No! Devastating. Devastating. 2 plushie cycles. Damn. My heart sinks. Is he saying that I came all this way for nothing? Risk life and limb for nothing? No, that can't be. I've only just arrived, and Iridia's the largest city still standing. There has to be a cure for me here. Then if not the Cenobium, where would you suggest? Do you know anyone else in Iridia? I shake my head. SMHing my head. Then I suggest a local guide. Head to the Wet Wick and ask for Leander. Excuse me? The wet what? The Wet Wick. He sounds deeply unamused. Let me be immature, man. Follow the postings advertising Leander's bloodhounds. They are difficult to miss. When you meet Leander, tell him I sent you. There isn't much to go on, but Chris points towards the clinic's back door. You will be safe so long as you do not draw attention to yourself. That's easier said than done. I've always been a magnet for the worst sort of attention. If you require my assistance, you may return whenever you wish. Though he's smiling, there's a note of finality in his voice. Resigned to my dismissal, I slip out the back door. I find my— oh my god, background noise! Yes! My beloved! I don't feel so quiet, so alone in my stream. Just speaking to silence. I'm gonna grab something to kind of snack on while we get through this. Is this a dating sim? This is an Atome, yes. Yes, indeed it is. Yes, yeah. Harem route? I don't know, actually. I don't know what we're looking at here. I figured we'd start with the scariest thing that we could possibly— oh, okay, keep snacking, got it. Food rate, do it again. Luckily, I was going to. So thank you for the channel points. Gee. Yeah, I thought the scariest thing we could start off October with is an asexual lesbian thirsting over men. So I went with that. Oh, oops, I clicked off. My bad. Find myself standing in a narrow and rather gloomy alley. I pulled the new cloak up over my nose, stepping over the contents of chamber pots that had been emptied into the street. Something weighs heavily inside one of the cloak's pockets. My coin purse. Everything is still inside, every last coin that I'd scraped together for the journey to Iridia. It doesn't even look like it was opened. There were so few coins to begin with, they probably weren't worth stealing. I glanced back at the clinic's closed door. Curse didn't take any payment. He even asked for a future favor. But he also said that this is Iridia. Secrets are power. Does he expect me to give up mine at some point? It's not exactly a comforting thought. Still, no matter why he did it, Curse gave me a second chance and a lead on where I might find help. Better get going before he changes his mind. I squeeze out of the alley and into the crowded main street. When you're so poor, people feel bad robbing you. Ouch. Ow. That would literally be me. Literally me IRL. r/me_IRL. The line outside Curse's clinic stretches down the road already. Two thin peddlers queue alongside weathered elders. If any place is in desperate need of a free clinic, it's this one. Cobblestones are treacherously rough under my feet, deep grooves worn between them by regular flooding and decades of hard use. Damn, bitch, you live like this? Damn. I knew Iridia was a river city, but I didn't expect it to look so eroded. The buildings are tired and dilapidated, all crammed together in narrow streets. A child darts by, clutching something greasy wrapped in paper. The smell of fried food drifts over to me. My stomach gives a faint gurgle. I would love some fried food right now. I already ate some, like, air fryer chicken earlier, but I want more. It's morning scotch, fried up hot and fresh. Not too many eyeballs today. Sounds disgusting, but I'm starving, so I duck my head under the stall's grubby awning. A large fish leers up at me, its three bulging eyes still visible through the thick layer of crispy batter. The vendor gives me a gap-toothed grin. What's the cheapest thing you've got? The vendor points at a metal basket of what looks like long strips of savory fried dough. Fresh long, lads. 3 copper apiece. Don't burn your mouth. I take the coins out, counting them gingerly. At this rate, I might not even be able to afford dinner. Reluctantly, I drop the payment on the counter and take my meal. 2 streets later, I pass under a wrought iron archway adorned with dangling garlands of red and pink lilies. I almost read flies. The buildings in this quarter are a dizzying riot of color, painted walls and tinted glass everywhere I look. Sheer red and pink curtains flutter in open doorways. Musical voices call out invitingly. Incense mingles with a pungent scent of flowers, barely covering the salt and musk of warm bodies. This must be Iridia's entertainment district. I'm polishing off my food and dusting the crumbs from my hands when I spot a poster. It features the silhouette of a smiling man wearing a single dagger-like earring and the word Bloodhounds printed above his head. A motto, as above, so below, circles the artwork. I like that it's zoomed in. I'm not, like, blind, right? I mean, I am, but, like, I'm not showing it right now, right? There's not a poster anywhere. No, there's not. Okay. Leander is the leader of the Bloodhounds, and the face printed on the poster is likely his. I follow a line of identical posters around a corner and nearly hit my head on a precariously dangling wooden sign. Looking up, faded orange letters read The Wet Wick. Why did they use that C? The facade of the building looks like it's seen better days, but I hear faint music and laughter coming from inside. Let me in! The inside of the bar is a far cry from the abandoned exterior. It's not even midday yet. Most of the tables and booths are occupied by a loose assembly of people in matching green cloaks. There's a lot you can tell about a city by its dives. This one seems ordinary enough, even if uniforms are unusual. A cursory glance doesn't turn up anyone with a dagger-shaped earring. I'm about to head towards the counter when a chant rises from the center of the room. Show! 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 The remaining green cloaks abandon the bar and their booths to rush towards the center of the room in a sudden torrent. There's no time to move out of the way. I'm caught, swept along in the ale-stench current. Is that a bottle of Fireball I see? Chee-hee-hee. Oh, 2 bottles of Fireball, actually. And then just like a jar of eyes. Well, I mean, they might not be eyes. I don't see any pupils, but I don't know my bars. I don't do a lot of drinking, and most of the drinking I did was with someone I don't interact with anymore. You want a dagger-shaped earring? I kind of want a dagger-shaped earring, too. Only one way to find out, drink them. True. Bartender, I'll have a little bit... Do you think... I don't know. Are you allowed to go to bars and be like, can I just get, like, a... Can you do what you do at, like, places where they have ice cream samples and just say, can I just, like, try everything? And then just go, I don't really want any of it when you're, too drunk to walk now because they have 50 different kinds of drinks. Of varying strengths. There's no time to move out of the way. I'm caught, swept along in the ale-stench current. Wine sampling, but with whiskey. Fuck yeah, dude. Hey! I did that... Hey! Why did I do that so anime protagonist? Rhythmic chanting drowns out my voice. I thrash, throwing out my elbows as the press of bodies grows heavier. My hip knocks into a table. I grip it, holding on tight to steady myself. The crowd is stilled. The chanting stopped. A pair of gilded boots stride across the tabletop. Hey! Watch out! I'm trying to walk here. They better not make me angry. That was stupid. A pair of gilded boots stride across the tabletop. Hello. Seriously, you dogs? Again? Scattered laughter and cheers rise from the audience. I drag my eyes upwards. A well-dressed man stands on the table in front of me, his broad shoulders framed by the thick lapels of a trench coat. This really is the last time, all right? This time when he speaks, the audience falls silent, as though bewitched by his magnetic presence or rich, low voice. Oh. But nothing is as captivating as his smile. He beams at the crowd around him, a performer on his makeshift stage. Don't blink or you'll miss it. He laughs, and the dagger-shaped earring dangling from his left ear catches the light in a flash of gold. It would seem I found Leander. Want him to be buffer and with a bushier beard. I don't remember if any of the characters in this game have facial hair. He raises his hand above the audience and snaps. A flash of pale green light. Real magic, no ordinary stage trick, blinds me. As the brilliance ebbs, my gaze refocuses on the mage towering above me. He flicks his wrists, and the magic spiraling around him coalesces. A delicate flower stem sprouts from between his pinched fingers. One by one, glowing lily petals spring forth. With a flourish, the mage presents the conjured flowers. The audience bursts into clapping and cheers. A genuine magic show is the last thing I expected from a place called the Wet Wick. Leander plucks the iridescent bouquet out of the air and turns in a slow circle, giving his audience a good look. Now who could use some good luck? Eager onlookers scoot closer to the table. Some reach for the lilies, while others whistle and call Leander's name. That's a little more what I'm expecting from the Wet Wick, but his cool green eyes slide right over them, locking on me instead. How about you? My chest tightens. Every person gathered turns to stare at me. Oops, not doing very good on the not calling attention thing. I'll take the flowers from you, Leander. I'll take them. I reach out, all too aware of the way my fingers tremble as I carefully take the fingers. Fingers? As I carefully take his fingers. You can't touch me if you don't have fingers to do it with. I carefully take the flowers from him. There's no weight to them, only a faint warmth that radiates from the stems. As soon as the flowers leave Leander's hand, their light dims. They fade away in a shower of opalescent light. I hope that's how you pronounce that. You want his fingers? Excuse me? What do you mean by that? Hey, raised eyebrow. What's that supposed to mean? Like eat them, like chicken fingers or lady fingers. Eating lady fingers? ... question mark. You want them in your mouth. They're getting eaten. Okay, good save. Good save. I was like, I feel like you're still getting across the wrong message here. To my surprise, Leander laughs under his breath. That's the problem with flowers. They don't last long, but they leave an impression, right? He grins at me, and I find myself smiling back. Leander steps off of the table, dropping among the excited crowd with an audible clink. All right, bloodhounds, get back to your drinks. Show's over. The green cloaks disperse at his command, returning to their tables and booths, immediately going back to being just as loud as they were a second ago. Before I can make my way towards Leander, his eyes find me. Whoa, don't look at me like that, man. He gives me a friendly wave, then beckons me over to the crowded counter. Oh, he's a cutie. I manage to squeeze beside him, but there's so little room that his broad shoulder presses against mine. I tense, but he doesn't seem to mind at all. Is this your first time in Iridia? He says it lightly, with a genuine air of curiosity. Oh, that I didn't say it very lightly, my bad. Do I stick out that much? No, but I'm certain I'd remember seeing a face as lovely as yours around Lowtown. I didn't read the name before I looked away. My eyes flicker to the polished countertop. I'm not used to flattery, and being this close makes eye contact difficult. As if on cue, the bartender approaches us. What can I get you? Surprise me, and add anything my friend wants to my tab. I wasn't expecting the generosity, but I have to admit I do feel a little thirsty after all that fried dough. His head feels small. He does have a bit of a small head on his shoulders. I'll have what he's having. Now, I think I'll go with water. I don't think the first thing I want to do is drink. I think I'd be smart enough to start with water. Water's fine. While the bartender leaves to fix our drinks, Leander leans his elbows on the counter, close enough to notice the purple shadows under his lower lids. His eyes wander over me in return, but when they lock on my bandaged hands, a sour taste rises in my throat. Here come the questions. So, what brings you to the Wick? Chris sent me. He pushes his hair back from his forehead, but immediately falls right back into place. So it's about work. Bartender pushes a pair of glasses our way. I don't realize how thirsty I am until the cool water touches my lips. I drain the water in a single gulp. Leander takes a deep swig of his beer and lets out a satisfied breath. Well, how can I be of assistance? I need to get to the cenobium. As soon as the word cenobium leaves my mouth, the entire bar falls silent. Oh. Bloodhounds twist around in their seats to gawk openly. Finally, an especially drunk one speaks up. How are you bringing up the cenobium in here? Throw him out! This is Bloodhound territory! Vitriol catches me off guard. The angry looks thrown my way. It's clear I've broken some unspoken rule just by mentioning the cenobium. When I glance at Leander, he's drinking as though he hasn't noticed the uproar. Only when he catches me looking does he lower his glass. For the love of... Drags a hand down his face. Hey, keep it down, will you? Oh, sorry. Hey, keep it down, will you? This is business. I tense, expecting an argument, but the outspoken bloodhounds silently return to their drinks. Only a handful continue to watch me warily. Sorry about them. Cenobium's a bit of a touchy subject in these parts. Mixing enough drinks and, well, you saw. How about we continue this outside? When I give him a terse nod, he pushes away from the bar counter. Follow Leander to an alleyway tucked behind the wet wick where layers of frayed bloodhound posters have been plastered to the walls. Front-facing Leander. Okay, front-facing visual novel characters scare me sometimes, because usually they're always doing some, like, three-quarter turn. And so when they look directly at me, it's like, oh, I'm being stared at. Seeing them side by side, the resemblance between Leander and his likeness on the posters is impressive. Curtis didn't send you here for help with the cenobium, did he? From the look he gives me, he already knows the answer. I glance away. No, he didn't. He suggested I find an alternative. Yet here you are, asking about them anyway. What do you need the cenobium for? I don't want to tell him about my curse. The less people know about my capabilities, the better. Thankfully, Leander takes my reluctant silence as an answer. Well, I see you're already aware of the city's currency. Information is worth its weight in gold here. Curtis told you the truth. The cenobium's dangerous. Get on their bad side and they'll imprison you if you're lucky, or torture you if you're not. They'll kill me if I'm lucky, they'll torture me if not. What made me think that I could get away with such a plot? Now I want to watch Twisted. Except I don't. I want to keep playing this game because I'm having such a good time. The cenobium's supposed to be a place of learning, a sanctuary. Cenobium has always been heralded as the last bastion of human knowledge, a shining beacon of hope in a world steeped in nightmares. If any place held answers, it would be the cenobium. That's why I came here. That's what they want you to think. Things that seem too good to be true are often just that. Such a simple statement, yet it leaves me reeling. If it's true, if I staked everything on a lie, then what now? Leander clears his throat. But as I always say, there's solutions to every problem, and alternatives to every solution. Claps his hands and turns to me with a brilliant smile. That's why Curtis pointed you to the Bloodhounds. Let us help you. Whether it's hunting soulless, finding people, or recovering stolen valuables, we can do it all. And free of charge. Really? I'm shaking my head before he's even finished his practice speech. My patience is wearing dangerously thin. Listen, I appreciate the offer, but my problem can't be solved by a group of good Samaritans. To my chagrin, Leander nods slowly. Your problem must be fairly serious, and if the cenobium's your first choice. You're searching for a magical solution, aren't you? When my eyes widen, he nods along, as though he suspected all along. I'd be happy to help you out. That is, if you'll tell me what ails you. Leander might not work for the cenobium, but he is a mage, and a powerful one at that if his demonstration earlier is any indication. Yeah, he's really powerful. He has Green Lantern powers. Therefore, he's a really powerful mage. I'm silent, plagued by indecision. I don't know if I can trust him, but it's not like I have any alternatives. I hate to admit it, but this could be my only path forward. My confession comes out in a pained whisper. I'm cursed. Cursed? Oh, now I'm very curious. What kind of curse? Something ancestral or more recent? He looks me up and down, taking in my face, my eyes, and finally my hands. It's your hands, isn't it? I wait until I'm certain my voice will remain steady before answering. Ugh. My touch is dangerous. It changes people, hurts them. Before I've even finished, Leander begins taking his glove off. He tugs his left hand free and flexes his fingers. Let's see it! He offers me his hand, and a prismatic flash of magic ripples across his palm, but I'm already shrinking backwards. I can't. I don't care how confident Leander is. I can't bring myself to hurt him, to see his kind face twist into a mask of madness. Believe me, this isn't an ordinary curse. I'll be fine. Perhaps where you came from, your affliction was strange and one of a kind. But spend a year in this city, you'll see 1,000 curses and thrice as many cures. Do you really think Curse would send you here if I couldn't handle it? How should I know? I only met him today. I'm as good as any mage in the Cenobium. Better even. If they can help, so can I. You don't know what you're asking me. I'm asking you to trust me. Buddy, that's just as much a problem. I look from Leander's outstretched hand to his confident smile. Then, with a short breath, I begin unwinding the bandages from my hand. Can you imagine if he's like, listen, I've seen plenty of things. You really have nothing to worry about. Nothing can surprise me anymore. And then I start unwrapping my hand, and he goes, what the fuck is that? Okay, that is disgusting. I didn't expect you to be a freak of fucking nature. I don't know why that's what I imagined. That's so fucked up. That's crazy. I love you as you are. What the fuck? Fine, but if you lose control, don't say I didn't warn you. You can tie me up first if it makes you feel better. Oh, in front, buddy. Whoa. All right. Okay. I love you. I have an STD. I love you as you aren't. Damn. Damn. Oops, sorry. I was scrolling up on my Streamlabs. Let me get back to him blushing. There we go. That's crazy. He already wants me to tie him up. With each joint I expose, I grow more and more certain this is a terrible idea. Ready when you are. If he's bothered by the way my hand looks, he doesn't show it. My fingers hover shakily over his palm. 3, 2, 1. That's a save. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna hold back. I'm not gonna touch him. I hesitate at the last second, but Leander does not. Oh! His hand closes tightly around mine. The instant his fingers graze mine, his expression goes blank. Leander? I try to pull away, but he won't let go. My stomach sinks, fear clutching me even harder than Leander's grip as he takes a slow, deliberate step closer. Whoa! His free hand rises, outstretched fingers angling towards my neck. No, you're just fine. Interesting! That's one hell of a curse. His hand lands gently on my shoulders to steady me. I didn't even realize I was shaking. I search Leander's face for traces of madness, but his eye remains a clear, soft green. Color rises in his cheeks, but he remains still except for the subtle bobbing of his throat. The curse is anybody who touches me, just straight up touches my skin. It might literally only be my hands and like upper arms, or not upper arms, forearms. But they just go insane, instantly. And want to kill, and kill specifically me, which is kind of the worst part. Neither of us speak as I trace the contours of Leander's palm, lost in an awareness I wasn't prepared for. I've been with other people, kissed them, been embraced by them, and more, but not like this. My fingers, long deprived by years of bandaging, pick up every single detail. Grooves of his palm, the smooth shell of his nails, the pulse of his heart. This goes hard. This goes very hard. You've kissed? Skank? Damn. So I think it is just my hands then. For as long as I've lived, I've never been able to hold someone's hand, not without dire consequences. I never realized what I was missing until this moment. While Leander's pulse is steady, mine is hammering as fear gives way to excitement. I'm gonna keep touching him. I'm like, this is a really exciting moment. My hand glides over Leander's wrist and up his forearm, where smooth skin abruptly gives way to the raised scar by the edge of his sleeve. It matches the one that runs from his collar to cheekbone. Could it be the same wound? I glance Leander's face, and his lips part as he considers his words before speaking. Am I the first person you've been able to touch like this? My hand goes still on his arm. So far. I'll admit your touch does make it somewhat difficult to stay level-headed, but not due to your power. I'm making him horny. He takes my hand. His soft green eyes flick to mine before he turns it to inspect the golden fissures crisscrossing my knuckles. Look, we match. He points at a golden pin on his coat collar, and I give him a small smile. He's a dork! I love him! Oops. Oh, okay, I was like, what just came up? I draw my hand back and take a steadying breath. My head feels as though it's stuffed with cotton. Habit alone guides me through the motions of rewrapping my hand, although my fingers tremble too much for the bandages to lie flat. I can't believe that worked. May I ask your name? I'm Nyx. You were right to hide this from me, Nyx. That curse of yours, it's unlike anything I've ever dealt with. I can tell you're discreet, but you best not go showing that off to anyone else. I didn't plan on it. Are you staying in Lowtown? I pause, bored with something I hadn't yet considered. I don't know. Let's get you properly settled, then. Wetwick is noticeably quieter. Without their leader, most of the bloodhounds have dispersed or, in a few cases, fallen asleep beside their drinks. Got any rooms left, or did my lot grab them all to sleep it off? The bartender, who I now realize doubles as an innkeeper, slides a key onto the counter. You know I always keep the corner room open for your escapades. Oh, man. Bartender's like, oh, I see what's about to go on here. Leander's laugh sounds slightly strained. And I always appreciate it, but you're mistaken. This is just for my friend, Nyx. Sure, stay as long as you like. You two have fun. Escapades, huh? Leander clears his throat, then holds the key out to me. But I hesitate. My coin purse barely holds enough for a day's worth of meals, let alone a room. How much do I owe you? Nothing. Bloodhound rates. My treat, since you shared your secret. Food, drink, a warm bed, anything you need. Carefully, I take the key from him. It's small, but weighs heavy in my palm. I never expected to have a warm bed in Iridia, let alone free meals. I planned to steal whatever I needed to get by, no matter how dangerous. Thank you. Go explore, Nyx. You'll find many roads in Iridia, each leading to different answers. But if you need a reprieve from what haunts you, come find me. Just be careful. I nod, taking one last look at the gleaming bronze key before tucking it into the pocket of my cloak for safekeeping. Leander gives me one last friendly wave before I depart. Interesting. The air clings, sodden and heavy. Without the morning crowd, the sunless streets look barren and bleak. Even the petals are long gone. Only a pair of crows remain quibbling over stale crust in a gutter. I feel a ridiculous pang of envy. At least they've got reason to fight. I've never felt so lost. Curse and Leander both made it clear that Cenobium can't be trusted, but I came so far, endured so much. I need to see the Cenobium for myself, if only to satisfy my curiosity. I should have asked someone at the bar for directions before leaving. I'm about to turn back when a shadow passes over me. A cloud, I think, until a puff of hot breath tickles the back of my neck. The shadow runs down the street in rivulets. What? Sorry, hold on. What's that word? Hold on. Help me out, Google.
Rivulet.
Rivulet. The shadow runs down the street in rivulets. Formless dark spreads like ink into blotted shapes. Claws stretch. Muzzle splits open to reveal long, jagged teeth. Growl rumbles so low and deep I feel it. River but small. I see. I want to run, to scream, but I feel trapped, as though the slightest movement or single breath will snap the jaws around me shut. No, I won't let it end like this. I'm going to die, I want to see what got me first. I steel myself, then turn. The shadow vanishes as quickly as it came. I'm left standing in the middle of the street, alone except for a figure reclining in the shade of a nearby stoop. Oh, okay, that's probably fine. Why, hello there. A monster. That much is clear from a glance. One that could nearly be mistaken for human were it not for the tufted ears, the tail curled around its ankle. His ankle. Or the dusk pink eyes with pupils that sharpen like needles when they fall on me. Our eyes meet and the monster uncrosses his long legs. His hair gleams a shade of red that reminds me unsettlingly of blood where it curls around his collared throat. Jumpy, aren't you? His tone is so light and carefree that I glance over my shoulder to make sure he's speaking to me. When I look back, the stranger props his chin on his knuckles and regards me with an inscrutable little smile. Didn't you see that shadow just now? It was massive, moved like a beast. Even as I speak, I'm aware of how ridiculous I must sound, but the stranger's smile doesn't falter. The only beasts I've seen are the Wick's drooling regulars, though this did catch my eye. The flourish of his hand, my in-room key appears dangling from his finger, turns on its chain, glittering when it catches the light. Hold on, can we talk about what he's got going on the legs here? That's slutty. That's so slutty. Oh, I really like the art of the, like, draping bits. That's really good, actually. I like the way that looks. How do I... Okay, there we go. He is serving. My hands fly to my cloak's pockets and, sure enough, find them flat. He crooks his finger, beckoning. I've already taken 2 steps forward before some stifled instinct stops me. Something feels wrong. That's what you mean when you say you want to be androgynous? Real. Real. I'm still on the edge, thrumming with so much adrenaline that the stranger's shadow flickers at the edges of my vision. I always attract the worst kind of attention, but I can't get rattled now. Where did you find that? How'd you even find it? The key, I mean. What can I say? I'm a sucker for shiny things. He smiles wide enough to reveal pointed canines. I saw you drop it. You really should be more careful. City like this, somebody might take advantage. A bald-faced lie said without a hint of irony. I can't figure out how he picked my pockets under my nose, but I'm certain he took my key and I need it back. I approach the man, careful to keep an arm's length away. He doesn't look dangerous, but the most deadly ones never do. I like the little ear twitch. Stranger's chain softly clinks with a tilt of his head. His ears flick. Keeping your distance? Till I figure out how you managed to rob me? Yeah, I am. You think I stole your dinky little key from all the way over here? He gives an exaggerated sigh. I'm good with my hands, but not that good. Do I really look like a common thief to you? Buddy, these people have to stop. He's got me there. The sheer fabric of his sleeves alone would be too expensive for most street thieves. Hell, his shoes look like they cost more than I spent traveling here. Then there's the shop behind him. No matter the city, parted pink curtains only ever mean one thing. I'm not looking to buy, and I doubt I could afford your services anyway. Luckily for you, I don't charge. The man runs the tip of his tongue over a fang, and for the first time since I stepped into this shadow, I feel something other than dread. Hello? Hello? Game says you are canonically horny right now. My face grows hot. That's not what I meant. I'm flattered, really. Were sex my trade, I might make an exception for you. How about half off for a handy? Or you could just hand over my key. Thank you for that Pokemon Go to the polls quip, Nyx. Game says you're on heat next to Foxboy. Ask nicely, I might even let you tug my tail. Just throw it over here. So some spindly little street urchin could snatch it and run. He raises my key and tilts his head so we can watch it dangle back and forth. I suppose I could just claim your room for myself. Not that I'd be caught dead slumming in the wick with the rest of those slack-jawed imbeciles. You're obviously not from around here, so tell me, traveler, what misfortune brought you to this wretched place? His voice practically drips with derision. Game says Foxboy is into it. I'm not telling you anything. What could have possibly drawn you to this dreary little pig pen, I wonder? He listlessly watches the arc of my key swing around his finger. The weather's shit, the food's dreck, and there's entirely too many monsters for a human to feel safe. Unless... Dagger's sharp eyes flick toward me. They gleam with amusement. Unless you're just dying to consort with monsters. By now, my embarrassment is worn away, leaving simmering impatience in its place. This is a shakedown. It's the most frustrating one I've ever experienced. Turn him down or flirt back. Game says Foxboy is an option. Go for Foxboy. I do like Foxboy. Character is a monster fucker? Maybe. Let's find out. Flirt back? I don't know. I feel like if I flirt back right now, it's very okay. Maybe if I give in, it'll catch him off guard back. Okay, fine. I'll flirt back. I'll save it though. We're gonna make this a save as well. How'd you know that I spent all my money, starved, and nearly died in a swamp just so I could crawl into bed with the first thirsty monster I saw? That earns me a burst of breathy laughter. He gazes at me under his dark lashes. Aren't you funny? Could you be any more obvious? I've been told subtleties. Subtleties? I've been told subtlety's not my strength. He's the guy you would like to actively try to flirt with just to fluster. If you can notice when someone is flirting with you, you like flustering them back, but more real. So, your place or mine? Ooh, there we go. If only I had my key. I might be able to invite you up then. His languid gaze glides from me to the key in his hand and back. Come, take my hand and we'll go together. The more he flirts, the more convinced I become that this is some kind of trap. No matter how innocent monsters look, they always have tricks up their sleeves. This is a Foxboy. Something tells me that this one's more dangerous than he lets on, even if he has a lovely laugh, and really pretty eyes, and beautiful hair, and God, the way that fabric slides across his chest. Listen, I don't know what you want or why you're messing with me, but I'm not coming any closer until I know you aren't going to attack. Or bite. I mean, is biting really that much of a negative? I won't bite hard, unless you beg me. Okay. Okay, he's... Okay. Okay, he's starting to get to me. He's not just getting to game nicks anymore. He's getting to real nicks now. Okay. Alright. You got me. No matter what I say, he finds a way to twist my words into innuendo. Even when I'm silent, he goes on as though we're having a conversation, not a standoff. Put his fingers into your mouth, the one with the keys. Listen, he has a lot of exposed skin. He does. Biting is a two-way street. It is. Do you like dancing? There's a traveling troupe performing in Hightown tonight. Their ludus is utterly exquisite, truly a performance to die for. There's a life in this dreadful place if you know where to look. You sound like you know the city well. The man's gaze flickers from me to the key dangling from his finger. Naturally, this stump was little more than a miserable little smear when I first arrived. Hightown, Lowtown, I know already like the back of my hand. What about the cenobium? You know where that is? His smile vanishes. Surely you've seen it. That absurdly large tower looming over the rest. It's a little hard to miss. You must mean that spire I noticed when I first caught sight of Iridia. Cenobium's overrated. Forget about it. I can show you things those stuffy boars in their limp dick tower couldn't even dream of. I've already got plans. Oh, have you some pressing matters at the Cenobium? Lunch dates with librarians? Tea time with most esteemed abbess? I hope abbess? I hope I pronounced it right. That's my business. What's the matter to you? I square my shoulders and the amusement bleeds out of him. Your loss. Stranger, finally bored of his tedious game, extends his hand towards me. The key rests on his palm, neatly dividing skin and leather. When he makes no other move, I reach for the key, but as soon as my fingers graze smooth brass, his hand springs shut around my elbow. Hey! He yanks me down and I stagger, my soul slipping on the steps. For a sick moment, I fear my bandages will unravel under his touch. He's careful not to disturb them, even as his fingers dig into my arm. I knew I smelled blood. You reek of death in the road. That fucking doctor. His voice, once silken, lowers to a smoky growl. The shadows around him seethe and boil as he pulls me closer. And something else. He murmurs against my throat, nose grazing my jaw. Let go! I try to twist away, but he doesn't budge. His breath trails down my neck, sending a thrill of dread through me. But just when I fear he'll bite, he takes a deep whiff instead. That's crazy! That's crazy that he gets really close and just goes... I don't know if that came through. If I could get a sniff across. But just coming up really close, I knew I could smell that fucking doctor. It makes it seem less... Oh, ew. You could, like, hear the mucus in that. That was really gross. I feel like maybe he's not like, ugh, that doctor. And maybe he's like, you've been around that doctor, haven't you? I bet I could get his scent off of you. His wide, flat eyes gleam with naked hunger as he gazes up at me. Not quite human, not quite monster. Seems we're both... Veer! Who? Stranger's ears flatten, and he releases me with a short breath. I yank my arm back, massaging it where his grip left grooves in the bandages. Stranger twists around to watch a woman duck out from the curtains behind him. Her press uniform bears the insignias of the Cenobium. I leave you for all of what? 10 minutes and you're making trouble again? Will you quit harassing the tourists? The stranger, Veer, I take it, rolls his eyes and flashes the cleric a withering smile. So suspicious. Can't you see this as a friend of mine? A natural liar. He grins at me and his tail swishes minutely. Wow, I struggled with that. The woman purses her lips at me, clearly unconvinced. I open my mouth to correct him, but Veer cuts in. I was graciously offering my dear friend some free advice. Though his voice remains light and cheerful, his expression darkens. Danger is drawn to you like a moth to flame, and will always find you given time. The woman clucks her tongue. Clucks? She makes a little chicken noise with her tongue, as though she's heard this recital 102 times. I've never heard clucks her tongue. Is that just a thing I haven't heard, or is that a typo game unplayable moment? That does happen, if that's what it is. I've never heard that. Ba-ba-ba. Word of advice, don't take free advice from lazy foxes lounging in the streets. This crook would sell water to a drowning man for the sheer enjoyment of it. She shrugs off a wilting look from VR. Oh, please, any friend of yours knows it's true. Now hold still. VR rises gracefully at her approach. He pushes his hair aside so it drapes over one shoulder, exposing the long line of his neck. And suddenly it dawns on me that the jingling I heard earlier wasn't coming from the harness attached to his collar, but a leash. A heavy iron chain wound around a hitching post and padlocked to the back of his collar. Veer posed deliberately to hide his leash from me. That's why he didn't walk with me, probably. The woman produces a keyring from her pocket. She raffles through a dozen identical keys before selecting one and slotting it into the lock. Come on, unless your friend's tagging along on our merry little soulless hunt. They're hunting for solace inside the city? Words momentarily fail me. The woman regards me with a polite, if tight, smile before marching down the stairs. Veer lingers. He stretches his arm over his head with a yawn, and I try not to stare at the way his stomach flattens when he arches his back. Blushes. Your little secret's safe with me. Try not to get yourself killed, Veer hops off the stoop and bounds after the woman. His tail sways merrily as though he hadn't just lied and threatened me. Did you try that thing I mentioned, the Leventian knot? That one where you take 3 fingers and actually don't tell me. Knowing you, it's disgusting. Veer's airy laughter echoes down the street. It's only after he and the cleric have vanished from sight that I realize I'm still missing something. Yeah, I never got that fucking key! Wait! Reflexively, I shove my hands into my pockets and find it. The room key. I use the key from my pocket and smooth my thumb over its teeth as I try to recall a touch, a tell, or any hint of Veer's sleight of hand. But I can't figure out how he did it. All I know for certain is that the Cenobium saw fit to leash him. Fate I could share. That's what his vague warning meant. What's the solace? It's this really hot, scary monster that attacked us, while we were on our way here. It's like covered in these huge eyes all across its arms. Its head is kind of like the alien, from Alien, a little bit, and it's a little goopy. It's otherwise humanoid shaped, kind of. It's a little, it's like very wide, um, but bipedal, big, like arms. Think like Tangela shape, I guess, but, darker and goopier. Humanoid, less my type. It's far enough from humanoid. I like, okay, when I say humanoid, I mean that very vaguely. Like, not humanoid like I'm humanoid. Not humanoid like Veer's humanoid. Humanoid like as close to the alien from Alien as you can get before you stop being called humanoid. That's as humanoid as it is. It's not really humanoid. That is probably an inaccurate way to put it. Let my eyes drift skyward, past the lanterns gently swaying in the breeze of the cenobium faintly visible through the haze. Just one glimpse is all I need, then I can put this all behind me. This time, the key goes into my coin purse for safekeeping. It's easy enough to follow the sluggish river that splits Iridia in two. A colossal bridge arches over the dark water below. Ooh, excuse me. I cross as quickly as I can, climbing ever uphill toward the distant tower. Sorry. Can the air in my chest give me a break? Drink some water, maybe. Huh. Almost choked on water. Hours later, legs aching, sweat beading on my forehead, I finally find what I was searching for. The cenobium of the luminous void. Stands at the highest point of Iridia, surrounded by cold white walls. Well-dressed people stroll down the walkways, paying no attention to the massive tower in their midst. I'm the only one standing before the gates. I crane my neck up and up, until the top of the cenobium tower disappears into the clouds overhead. I frown up at the gates, wondering what horrible traps they might contain. Despite their delicate beauty, there must be more to them than meets the eye. Hello? There we go. Knocking seems like a terrible idea, but I don't see any other way of making my presence known. Halfway up the steps when something moves in my peripheral vision. A shadowy figure crouches beneath one of the white walls. They reach out and tug on a vine as if testing its strength. Oi! You there! Sorry, that was a good voice. The shadow vanishes as quickly as I spotted it, and a gaunt-faced man in a crisp charcoal uniform marches up the steps towards me. Ugh, another tourist. Get out of here once you're done gawking. Dismissive wave accompanies his equally dismissive words, and he turns on his heel without even waiting for an answer from me. I look back at where I saw the intruder, but there's nothing. Just the leaves blowing gently in a cool breeze. Pugs2424, thank you for becoming a fellow clown following the channel, because you'd have to be a clown to follow someone who thought that was the appropriate way to read that patrolman's lines. That was something. I'd like to think that me doing that was the moment that you were like, no, okay, this is the kind of person I want to follow. Like, me doing that just now was what sold you. I step away from the gates, hopelessness watching over me. Hello. A whisper so close I can feel the warm brush of breath on my skin. Instinctively jerk away, but there's no one beside me. Halfway down the staircase, I spot a woman swaying in the breeze. She's gaunt as a rail, her blouse moth-eaten. I'm unable to take my eyes off her, not because of the way she smiles a little too widely or the way her tousled braids look unbrushed for days, but because her eyes shine a vibrant, unnatural crimson, and both settled by their subtle glow. These days you need a miracle. A miracle? These days you need a miracle to get in there. I'm unsure how to respond, or if I even should. Respond sarcastically. I'm not going to be an asshole. I mean, I could. Like, what did she say? She said hello, and then she said, These days you need a miracle to get in there. Why would I be sarcastic about that? Let's be sarcastic about it. Seems like I'm in the market for a miracle. Know anyone selling? She beams at me like I've said the greatest thing she's ever heard. Lucky for you, I have them for free. Whatever she's selling, I'm not interested. Whatever you're selling, I ain't buying, yo. My words come out in a tired breath. No, thanks. I start down the stairs, but she abruptly steps into my path. She turns her back to me, and before I can react, she slips her fingers into the lacing of her collar, stripping out of her blouse in broad daylight. Sorry? What are you doing? As warm fabric unveils bare skin, my panic is smothered by cold horror. A misshapen, sunken scar carves into the woman's body. Pitted, gnarled skin snakes down her shoulders, blooming from a gaping hole in the back of her neck. A shuddering breath escapes me. Fuck? Whatever disease this woman had ate away at her from the inside out. How is she able to move or breathe? It's impossible. She shouldn't be alive, and yet. The power to cure anything could be yours, too. The power of the sea spring. The woman slides back into her blouse and deftly laces it up. If I've caught your interest, then follow me. It's only a short walk away. Without another glance, she leisurely strolls down the Cenobium stairs, loose braids bobbing behind her. The edge of her scar peeks out from under her collar. I stand there wordless until I manage to regain my bearings. It's a twisted miracle, but a miracle nonetheless. This could be the stupidest decision in my life, but what choice do I have? Take a final look at the Cenobium's shut gates, then follow her down the steps. We descend from the higher streets, leaving behind their gilded decadence as we cross the river. The wet, derelict districts feel more familiar to me. The crimson-eyed woman takes me farther, then farther still, until I'm met with an all-too-familiar sight. My gut lurches when I face the open horizon. The city's outskirts are hardly recognizable in daylight, probably safer for it. But venturing beyond Iridia's walls is a gamble I wasn't prepared to take so soon. Keep going straight, and the sea spring will the sea spring will reveal itself to you. I bark out a bitter laugh, loud and involuntary. I'd rather not. Are you kidding? It's not safe out there. You're as safe inside the city as outside of it. Truthfully, the territory before you is the safest of all. What do you mean, territory? This region belongs to Ace. Most people know him as a gang leader, but he's much more than that. I squint against the empty wastelands. Only a fool or someone with nothing to lose would leave the city. Apparently, I'm both. But the sea spring cured her. I need to see what it can do for me. I set off into the wastes. Over my shoulder, the woman calls after me. Good luck, Nix. I hope we meet again. I never told you my name. My heart pounds with each step I take from civilization. For what seems like an eternity, I force each foot forward, one step, then another, till a realization hits me. I never told the woman my name. Yeah, that's right. Something pierces the horizon ahead of me. A building nestled into a tall cliffside, but so starkly out of place it might as well be a hallucination. It drips with extravagance and honeyed mahogany, an ornate jewel of architecture. A row of dark silhouettes stand out on the horizon. Trees, I think, until I'm close enough to realize that what I mistook for branches were spikes and jutting tendrils. Soulless. Several of them watch me in the distance like statues. I don't think, I just run. Exploding into a messy sprint, I push my legs as fast as it'll take me towards the decorated building. Flashes of last night chase me, the gushes of blood and screams of death, the smell of burning flesh and sour bile. I can't go through that again. I won't. Next thing I know, I'm dashing up wooden stairs and crashing through towering double doors. Gasp for air, my lungs burning from exertion. I'm desperate to be safe when I process my surroundings. It's more hellscape than sanctuary. Blood flows all around me, overwhelming my vision with a lurid, unholy red. Instinctively, my hand leaps to my mouth. The rotten stench of blood never comes. Instead, a smoky scent hangs in the air, sharp and spiced. I swallow thickly, convincing myself that it's not as gruesome as it appears. This has to be the Sea Spring, the place that grants miracles. Pulling my eyes away from the pool, I take in the rest of my environment. Tall pillars flank me, blanketed in written notes. Seating pillows scatter the floor. A rustic kettle sits nearby. Someone must live here, despite how eerily empty it is. Hello? Is anyone here? My voice echoes across the cavern without response. Is anyone here? Is anyone here? Is anyone here? Is anyone... I approach the paper-covered pillars. Maybe something here can tell me more. I reach for the closest one. Surrounded by soulless and vouched for by weirdo lady who isn't healthy and knew my name despite me never giving it. This is the safest miracle, for sure. Reach for a note in front of me. It reads, Dear Mother, don't cry for me. I'm sorry I didn't say goodbye, but we'll meet again in another life. I love you very much. From Iris. P.S. If you ever see me, never speak to me again. Oh. It's written in perfect cursive. I've never seen such beautiful handwriting. Before I can ponder it further, a sharp chill runs down my spine. Something's watching me. I quickly set the note back, my eyes darting around the wooden deck, but it's still empty. Vacant. Finally, I look towards the Sea Spring. That stillness hides something deeper. Something wrong. Hey. Spin around and come face to face with a pack of soulless. They chitter and... Oh, okay! Growl, tendrils and spikes flaring threateningly. All different sizes and species, but sharing one identical trait. Glowing crimson eyes. I try to back away, but my heel teeters over the Sea Spring. I'm cornered. Watch your step. It's deeper than it looks. A voice again. At the sound of it, the soulless freeze, their snarls quieting. Why is that the starting shot, dude? That's crazy. That's crazy that's the starting shot. There's any way we could have known this wasn't safe. Surely not. It was impossible to tell. Nothing could have been done. I search for the voice's source and find it above me, lounging in the rafters. You look lost, little sparrow. His gaze is a violent crimson, one that sears through me, leaves me feeling raw and exposed. Those same eyes I've seen over and over, first with the scarred woman and now with the soulless circling me, all bound by the Sea Spring's blood red. The shroud of darkness behind him, shapes like massive tentacles, twist and coil around the wooden beams. I can't focus. The soulless growls ring in my ears. They're not advancing, but that could change at any second. Panic rises in my throat as I struggle to track them. Hey! Eyes on me. Okay. My stomach rolls as I tear my eyes away from the soulless. Don't ignore someone who's talking to you. It's not polite. For a moment, anger knocks my fear aside. Who is this bastard? Hey, man! Fuck you! That's crazy. I don't think I'm just gonna go, hey, fuck you, guy. No, I think I'm a little busy is probably the way I'll go. I'm kind of distracted by the soulless about to maul me. Only on my command. Sorry. The name card. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid. Only on my command. I scan the soulless again. They really aren't attacking, posturing more than anything else. You tamed them? Power of the Sea Spring. Oh, they're hungry, so they might bite. You could give me a reason to stop them. How about I didn't do anything wrong? Trespassing. And that's punishable by death? Gives a non-committal shrug. Okay, yeah, I love this character. I called out earlier to see if anyone was here. Were we supposed to play hide and seek? Didn't hear you. My voice stops in my throat. This man's terse coolness is both infuriating and terrifying. I've racked my brain for a way to defuse the situation. I can already tell who he's catering towards, yeah. Tell me what you want. I'm not in the mood for guessing games. Your hands. Alarm jolts through me. I hide my hands under my cloak. Show me. Why? Won't ask twice. Okay. Alright, man. With a sharp huff, I reluctantly hold out my bandaged hands. Are you getting off on this? Unwrap them. Heat rushes to my face and fire to my tongue. I should give him a piece of my mind, but not when his soul is served one command from ripping me to shreds. Yet no matter how much I will myself to move, my body is frozen in place. I stand there for a long, agonizing minute. My hands are trembling when I finally raise them. I know the skin beneath the wrappings all too well, the hideous, unnatural flesh I've grown to despise. Grip the edge of the bandages. Stop. With a weary sigh, the man slides off the beam and lands with a thud that shakes the panels underfoot. He's a monster, with an imposing figure that towers over me, doesn't now? I couldn't tell how tall he was before, but he's big. Illuminated by lantern light, his features are stronger, sharper. Subtle clinks of metal accompany each of his footsteps. The closer he gets to me, the faster my heart hitches. What does he want? He's gonna kill me? I step backwards. Find nothing to set my foot on. I've forgotten my back was to the C-spring. I fall right before a warm hand catches my lower back. Oh! Oh, damn. Hovering above the C-spring, the scent of smoke and leather enveloping me. Blazing crimson eyes bore into mine. Told you to watch your step. Too stunned to muster a response. Like I weigh nothing, he guides me back to solid ground and steps back. Following a subtle gesture from his fingers, the souls around us disperse and relax. Their shift in their demeanor is so abrupt it gives me whiplash. The enormous tentacles are no longer in the rafters, though now I doubt I ever saw them at all. Either way, I exhale a breath of relief. Thanks. As focused on me as he was before, and the monster pays no attention to me now. Kicks some seating pillows out of the walkways, checks the contents of the kettle with a scowl. Sudden disregard is almost insulting. So that's it? I'm not a threat anymore? Never were one. Then why'd you threaten me? People get honest when they're afraid. In other words, he was messing with me. I drag a hand over my face, exhausted by the fact this is the second time a monster's provoked me today. You're Ace, aren't you? Depends who's asking. One of your friends told me this was your territory. She also said you were a gang leader? There's no one else here. I thought there'd be more people. Ice picks up the kettle and I can't decide between Ace and Ice. I'll just interchange until I have a reason to pick one. Walks to the edge of the sea spring, then dumps out the contents into the endless red. Gang took a walk. His pleasant smile stretches across his face, ear to ear. Then in an instant it drops. I get the sense that I shouldn't ask about his gang again. Something must have happened. I've learned to recognize a real leader when I see one. Ice, regrettably, fits the type perfectly. He knows how to scare people, and he expects submission. It's uncommon for someone so used to being in power to be so alone. What do you need the Sea Spring's powers for? Depends. Can it cure a curse? Probably. You mean you don't know? Nope. He shakes out the empty kettle and starts collecting stray cups, tidying up. He needs more claws, he needs claws. He does need claws. Frustration builds. I narrow my eyes at him in a questioning glare. When he notices, he returns it with an amused smirk. Are you being irritating on purpose? Listen, Sparrow, the Sea Spring can cure anything. Nothing's stopping you from trying it yourself. What do I have to do? Drink. I have to drink from the Sea Spring? Didn't you just, pour out some old, tea in there or something? My eyes glide to the blood-like pool beside us. The idea of ingesting the strange liquid makes my guts churn. Is there a price? Always. Ice taps his temple with a finger. You lose it a little bit. That's it? Might have already beat it to the punch. Damn, first you don't want spoilers, and now you don't want gore? No, devastating! That's, head and hands. Falling to my knees. Don't worry, there are plenty of games, in October that don't have gore. So, hopefully you'll be good. Think characters have normal lips when they open their mouth, it's a pit to hell and nothingness? Now we're concerned about the weird liquid. Yeah, Helltaker shouldn't be gory. Let me look at my handy dandy schedule I have here. Um, I know the latter half of the month has at least one game that doesn't really have gore. I would say that there's not gore in our Saturday stream. I think it's funny for anybody who doesn't know that game for me to go, oh, I think it doesn't have gore. Helltaker is fine. Yeah. Yeah, no. We should have a couple of games that aren't too nasty. So far, there hasn't really been anything too gory in this one. To be honest, just discussions of things, just descriptions so far. Grabbing a cookie. I want a cookie. That's it. I already might have beat it to the punch. My humor earns me an amused, fanged grin. This is a little different. When you drink from the sea spring, you forget who you are. Oh, sorry, this is a little different. When you drink from the sea spring, you forget who you are. Your mind combines with everyone who ever drank before. Humans, monsters, soulless. One big happy family in your head. That's also not new for me, actually. I actually am pretty familiar with that kind of situation. My blood runs cold. I've heard of these before. Cults? Group minds. Thought they were just rumors. I've heard whispers of cults performing rituals to bind their members' minds together. Never seemed possible. Something tells me this is real, even if one thing doesn't add up. Your eyes are red too, but you obviously haven't forgotten who you are. Before I can finish my sentence, Ice strides past me towards the entrance. Time's up. Let us finish this later. Wait, already? You barely told me anything. Came on a bad day. I've got somewhere to be. There's still so many questions burning on the tip of my tongue, but my frustration spills out before any of them. I was told to come here for help, but instead I get threatened and kicked out? You're joking, right? Watch your tone. I'm nice, but you don't want to ruin the host's mood. My skin prickles. The feeling of being watched washes over me again. My eyes dart back over to the sea spring. A lone ripple dances on the quiet surface. I take Ice's advice and clamp my mouth shut. Ice approaches a nearby Solus, a lanky dog-like one with 6 legs and a crown of tendrils. Several sets of crimson eyes adorn its sides. Its forked tail wags rapidly when Ice squats behind it, or beside it. That's cute. He runs his fingers through the tendrils, scratches its chin, and pats its head. You can pet the dog in this game! Yeah, pissing off the host means the body doesn't get taken care of, and also you don't get easy fronting time. It's true, so true. Gentle smile plays across Ice's lips. The affection he holds for the Solus is painfully clear. I dip my eyes away, my stomach fluttering at the tender sight. It's getting dark out, so this pretty girl will why can't I fucking talk? It's getting dark out, so this pretty girl will guide you back. It's not a hard sentence. I struggle. Following a short whistle from Ice's lips, it trots over to the entrance obediently, tail swaying. I said pretty girl and died? Yeah. Yeah, this character said pretty girl, not even referring to me, and I went, that made it difficult. Watch the Solus warily. Pretty is not a word I would use to describe it, and the idea of it protecting me sounds absurd. If I decide to drink, how should I, find you? Find someone with eyes like mine. They'll point you in the right direction. But think it over. Once you drink, you can't go back. It's a lot to process, but I give a small nod. At least I know I have another option for a cure, as disturbing as it may be. Oh! Sorry. Follow the Solus at a measured distance and watch it nudge the giant doors open with ease. When I'm about to cross the threshold, I sneak one last glance behind me. My heart skips when I meet Ice's eyes. I'm about to snap my head away, but he just flashes me an easy smile. Till next time, Sparrow. I'll buy you a drink for scaring you. I don't trust myself to do anything but respond with another curt nod. I'm hopeless in this game. My character is hopeless. Outside, more crimson-eyed Solus scuttle about. It's hard to believe it's the same threatening pack from before. They chase each other in circles, roll around in the bog's mud. They pay no attention to me as the dog-like one escorts me away. It's an eventful trip. Sometimes the Solus looks over its shoulder at me to make sure I'm still following. That's pretty cute. Dusk darkens the sky by the time we reach the city. Solus sits and looks at me expectantly with familiar crimson eyes. I get to pet the Solus! I'm petting the Solus. As nervous as I am, I carefully glide my fingers through the Solus tendrils and scratch beneath its chin, just like Ice had. It pushes into my palm in response, rumbling with a sound akin to a purr. The vibrations are soothing, almost healing my fatigue. When it's satisfied, the Solus spins around and scampers back in the direction we came, vanishing in the darkness. It's barely my first day in Iridia, and I've already encountered so many things I thought were impossible. Tame Solus being one of them. My head spins. Maybe I should call it a day. Nightfall creeps across the streets of Iridia. The city, labyrinthine even in daytime, has become a warren of treacherous alleyways. The streets are completely deserted. If I hadn't been here earlier, I would have thought this part of the city abandoned. I make my way through the winding streets, doing my best to keep my bearing towards the wet wick. My steps slow when I hear rustling in the dark. I strain my ears, but everything is still. Silence playing tricks on me? No, something's wrong. Fine hairs on the back of my neck prickle. Hold on. Gotta look up that word. I'm getting a vocabulary lesson today. Uh,
Frisson.
Frisson. A frisson of discomfort running down my spine. Something is wrong. It's a sudden, strong feeling of excitement or fear. A thrill. Give us a girl interest? I am sorry to say I don't know that there's a girl interest. I think these are all boys in this one. My eyes dart from one side of the street to the other, searching for movement. The shadows are as deep and dark as pools of ink, and I see nothing. I can't stay here. I need to reach a busier part of the city. Drawing my cloak tighter around my body, I hurry on my way. Though I keep my eyes sharp and listen intently, there's only the sound of my own footsteps. As the moments pass and nothing happens, I begin to wonder. Maybe I really did imagine that noise? I turn the next corner and my thoughts come screaming to a halt. My head spins, the world blurring as adrenaline rushes through my veins. Only one thing is clear amidst the haze. Souls that attack the caravan. It's crouched over a dark, indistinct shape. A body. Oh yeah, this is what the Solus looked like before. Yeah, like this is like barely humanoid. Humanoid might have even been the wrong word to describe this guy. Yeah, your type. A garland of intestines spills from pallid flesh. Blood grouts the cobblestones. For a mercy, the Solus is too distracted by its meal to have noticed me. My feet feel as heavy as stones, but I can't just stand here. Holding my breath, I take a step backwards. When the wet slurping sounds don't abate, I take another, then another. Then a shard of glass crunches under my heel. No! World seems to slow to a crawl as the Solus raises its head, blood dripping from its tendrils. Every single one of its bulging eyes fixed unblinkingly on me. It's really here. It's come back for me. Run. I'm off like a shot, running for my life through the darkened streets. Behind me, a piercing bay splits the silence, and heavy footfalls pound after me. My heart thunders in my chest. I take turns at random, trying to lose it in the maze of streets, but I can't seem to shake it. I can hear its breathing now, a wet, fluttering rasp, growing closer and closer. The same claws that sever my arms swipe out. I duck, saved by pure reflex, and skid around a corner. I take 3 running strides before the bottom drops out of my stomach. A wall twice as high as me bars my way. A dead end. When I turn around, the Solus looms in the entry to the alleyway. It's no longer running. It doesn't have to. As it prowls closer, my thoughts race. Some of the buildings lining the streets are lit. There must be people inside. It's a long shot, but... Somebody! Help me! My voice rings through the shadowed streets. Silhouettes pass by the windows, but nobody answers. In this wretched world, few people stick their neck out to help their own flesh and blood, never mind a stranger. The Solus provoked by my shouting gives a rasping hiss. It's the only warning I get before it lunges for me with a flash of claws. I hurl myself to the side, but the slick cobblestones betray me. I fall, sprawling over the rough stone. As the Solus looms over me, I scramble away from it until my back hits the wall. There's nowhere left to... Excuse me. Fuck. There's nowhere left to go. Descends on me for the kill. But the impact never comes. There we go. I warily crack one eye open, then the other, not sure whether I should believe what I'm seeing.
A hooded figure crouches in front of me, one blood-stained hand outstretched. Moonlight silvers the edge of their stiletto knife. Their face and hands are splattered with blood. And the Solus? My eyes dart past my unexpected rescuer to the misshapen form behind them. Solus's many eyes, once restless and vibrant, now look dull and waxy. A red pool spreads slowly from under its body. All in the same day? Skank. Damn. Christ. Getting slut-shamed so many times. No, my man! Numb with shock, I can't help but stare. It's dead. After all the people it's killed, after nearly killing me twice. I can hardly believe it. Well? I gingerly take the offered hand. I'm not satisfied with that voice. I gingerly take the offered hand. The stranger's gaze dips my bandages. Pale lips part on the brink of a question, and close again. The strength belying their slight frame, they pull me to my feet. As soon as I'm on my own 2 feet again, they pull away from me and start wiping the blood from their face and hands. Stay there. They turn away from me stiffly, leaning over the Solus's gangly body. With their back towards me, I realized that I saw their hooded silhouette of the snow biome. You're shorter than I thought. That's fucked up. Hey, short stack. Thanks for saving me, ankle biter. You saved me. I shouldn't have had to. Their harsh response takes me aback. Before I can formulate a response, they continue. What are you thinking, traveling alone at night? This is far from the worst thing haunting Lowtown. I can't make heads or tails of them. First they save me, and now they scold me? Lesson learned. I could do without the lecture, though. To my surprise, they break eye contact. Their attention glides back to the Solus's corpse. They examine it with an inscrutable expression. I clear my throat to fill the silence. Well, I'm Nyx. Min. Suddenly Min tenses. Their blade flashes as they drive into the back of the Solus's neck. The Solus thrashes once, letting out a rattling hiss as the air leaves its lungs. Min leans on the blade, driving it deeper and deeper until there's a sickening crunch, and the creature goes limp. My heart thuds in my chest. Must have been clinging to life by a thread. Min straightens up, withdrawing their blade in a single smooth motion. Does Min canonically use they them pronouns? If so, that's sick. Better to put wretched things like this out of their misery. They calmly clean the blood from their knife. That swift, unhesitating lethal strike wasn't the work of an amateur. But they don't act like any of the cold-blooded killers I've seen in the past. Why is a Solus inside the city? Min looks at me, eyes searching, before realization dawns. You're new here. There's no walls around the city. Solus can come and go as they please until someone is contracted to stop them. Snowbium's patrols don't bother to protect Lowtown. Not anymore. Let me guess, you're not a fan of the Snowbium? I wouldn't go that far. Their brow abruptly furrows, and they sheath their knife, motioning for me to follow them. It's not safe here. The vultures can smell death. I'm not quite sure what they mean, but I don't want to stay lost in the city. I trail behind them as they stride down the street. If it's so dangerous, then why are you helping me? You are making an unbearable racket. Next time you walk into a Solus's claws, at least die quietly. Their answer is stingingly harsh. You know what? Fine. Fed up, I don't bother holding back anymore. Fine. I don't know why you dive in out of nowhere to kill some dangerous Solus then be rude to the person you help, but go right ahead. Min blinks, staring at me like my head just spun around on my neck. They open their mouth and close it, looking uncertain. I forge onward, gathering steam. How was I supposed to know there'd be dangerous Solus hunting in the streets? You don't have to be an asshole about it. You're not as spineless as you look. I don't know who's saying my name. Nyx? Oh, Nyx? I turn, surprised by the voice. Chris walks down the street towards us. His white and gold clothing is pristine, despite the grime of the city. Hello, Min. I see that Solus was your work. Min shrugs, his familiarity to the way they regard each other. Just unceasingly be an asshole to Min forever because they've had a horrible first impression. I'm gonna be honest, Min is pretty up there. I mean, everyone's pretty up there. Everyone's given me something to chew on, but I really like Min. But I also like the idea of just, you started out being an asshole to me. I'm gonna do nothing but be an asshole back to you. I didn't know you had friends, Min. I don't. Freelance work is dangerous, and Curse is a doctor. That's all. Nyx needs to get back to wherever she's staying, before she wanders into the jaws of another soulless. It is late. Were you able to find a place to stay, Nyx? I'm staying at the Wet Wick. Both their faces fall. I see. Would you like a guide? Might be preferable to wandering about alleyways. That would be nice, yeah. Min clicks their tongue and sighs, sounding mightily put out. Going to the Amaryllis district? That gaudy cesspit? Come, this way. Despite Min's clear distaste, when Curse leads me down the street, they keep pace with us. Catching my curious glance, Min's eyes narrow. It's not safe this late. I don't care about you, but Curse is the only doctor worth a damn in this place. Are you like this with everyone? The deadpan look Min gives me his answer enough. I catch Curse hiding a slight smile. I suppress a sigh and resign myself to having a grumpy shadow all the way back to the Wet Wick. That Curse takes is completely different from my slow meandering earlier in the morning. In no time at all, he cuts through darkened streets and twisting alleys. Seems like half the city is poured into the Amaryllis district's colorful streets. Laughter, clinking glasses, and music assault my ears from every direction. The most noise still comes from the Wet Wick. Stores hang wide open, lanterns lit. Here we are. Whoa! Turning around from me. Didn't expect that. You have a lot of hair. Here we are. He moves towards the door and Min lets out an audible huff. Don't tell me you're going in. I have some quick business with Leander. Fine. He still owes me for yesterday's work. They drag their feet, reluctantly trailing me into the tavern. As soon as the doors open, a wave of sticky heat rolls over me. Ew. An hour since I left, the Wick has grown suffocatingly crowded. You were joking when you said the stream was too scary before it started, but then you forgot to actually come back. Whoops! Curse stands out, easily a head taller than most. Even so, I nearly lose sight of him amid the sea of swarming bodies. Pardon me. The crowd parts as though answering his request. Curse glances over his shoulder at Min and me before gliding through. How can anyone breathe in here? Min follows Curse at a clip pace. Leander is right where I left him, although he's traded places with the bartender. He holds a pair of shot glasses filled to the brim with luminous green liquid. And now for the finishing touch. Flash of magic paints the glasses white with frost. You're never gonna guess what's in these. Leander slides the glasses across the bar, and I get my third and fourth shocks of the evening in rapid succession. Ice leans against the bar, an elbow propped up on the counter. He catches the glasses and lifts one to the light before turning it upside down. The contents, magically congealed, stay firmly in place. You're supposed to make drinks, pretty boy. Okay. You're supposed to make drinks, pretty boy. Don't tell me you're wasted already. Veer, perched on the bar's counter beside Ace, takes a single look at the shot glass and shakes his head. What have we here? A bucket full of boogers? Leander's nose treasure? You've eaten worse. Veer's lips twitch and his ears flatten when Ice offers him a glass. He turns his cheek with a sniff and Ice just snickers. Coward. Don't tell me you're actually... In one fluid motion, Ice throws back his head and downs the shot. Drinking that. Dark look crosses Ice's face. It's chewy. Chewy! Wait, let me try again. Behind me, Min grumbles. I told you this place was a nest of degenerates. This is Curse and Min! The sound of Leander's voice, Min's pale eyes grow wide. They look ready to bolt until Curse sets a hand on their shoulder. I promise this will not take long. Min's eyes dart from Curse's hand to his face, then soften. Fine, you first. While they step forward, I linger behind, struck by a sudden revelation. All the people I've met today know each other. I get to join the most fucked up polycule in the city. Let's fucking go. Good evening, Leander. Ice. Another drinking competition, I presume? Oh, is it evening already? Could have sworn it was earlier. Just some friendly rivalry, Doctor. Nothing to be afraid of. Curse acknowledges Leander and Ice with the slightest nod, ignoring Veer entirely. Not that Veer seems to mind. Tilts his head, and an impish smile curves his lips when he spots Min looming silently behind Curtis. I almost didn't see you there, Min. Looking for your booster seat? Min pushes back their hood. They level Veer with a cool look. I thought Ice wasn't allowed to bring his pets in here. Veer's tail gives an angry twitch. Ooh! Ooh! What? The first sign of an impending fight, Leander vaults clear over the counter. He slides in between Ice and Curtis. Now, let's try and keep the peace. It's not every day that the esteemed doctor takes us up on a drink. His arm snakes around Curtis' shoulders. You are finally taking me up on that drink, right, Curtis? I'm afraid not. We were merely escorting Nyx back to her lodgings. Curtis gestures in my direction and my stomach sinks. I reluctantly step into the light. As soon as he sees me, Leander's face brightens. Nyx, it's been too long! Everyone, this is Nyx. She's new to Iridia. We know, we've all met. I feel 5 pairs of eyes fixed onto me, and suddenly the bar feels suffocatingly small. My voice nearly catches in my throat. Hi. Again. I don't even have to be there. The tension is high even without my interference. Yeah, honestly, I'm interested in just watching these 5. I could just watch these 5 interact for the rest of the game. Again? Wait, you've already met everyone? Oh, there's more! Ice and Veer level me with subtly amused expressions. Veer's tail gives a lazy wag. We did. Not that long ago, either. I'm starting to suspect she's stalking me. He looks far too pleased with himself when I roll my eyes. This calls for drinks. What does everyone want? In an instant, all eyes turn to Leander, freeing me from the burden of attention. Dude, everyone in this game is so cute, honestly. Like, I love Veer's outfit so much. Min is an adorable shorty. Curtis is attractive. Ice is exactly the character that Ice is. Oh, why are his knuckles like bruised? What's up with that? And Leander is good also. Leander is also good. Everyone here is good. I like them all. I think Veer and Min are probably my favorites, and then Leander close behind, and then Curtis and Ice are probably on pretty equal ground. Still can't believe they all know each other. Watching them talk amongst themselves feels surreal. Did someone say Knuckles, the echidna? They are red. For the first time since I undertook the journey to Iridia, I feel a faint glimmer of hope. I know I was meant to meet them. The low, pleasant rumble of Leander's laughter pulls me from my restless thoughts. Well, color me surprised. You make friends fast, Nyx. I wouldn't go that far. We're more like acquaintances. A wise man once said that acquaintances are merely friends you haven't shared a drink with yet. Is this Pumpkin Hill? I don't know what Pumpkin Hill is. That's going way over my head right now. A wise man, you said that. Here, last week. I can hear Min's lip curl at this taste from across the bar. Leander clears his throat and continues unperturbed. Let's toast to Nyx's health. Care to join in, Doctor? I should be ashamed, I am. Chris politely declines with a wave of his hand. How about you, Min? No. Are you... No. A resounding pop pierces the din of the bar. We all turn in the direction of the noise. Veer looks almost bashful as he accepts an overflowing flute from the bartender, poured from a bottle so old its label has been worn blank. They serve champagne here? Since when? Veer pauses in the middle of licking champagne foam from his fingers with a coy smile. You don't mind, do you? Oops. In a transformation as impressive as his magic trick, the concerned Leander's face vanishes. He laughs softly. No, be my guest. I know you've got expensive taste. Then he shoots the bartender a frantic look. Unbothered or uninterested in his company, Ice cants his head at me, a light smile on his lips. How about you, Sparrow? I did say I'd buy you a drink earlier. No, 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 my treat. Ice regards Leander over the lip of his glass. In the dim light, the glint in his crimson eyes looks downright dangerous. Fans myself? What'll it be, Nix? I'll take that drink. Water's fine. I refuse to drink. You know what? I'm a little more comfortable. I think I'll take a drink. Pick you up on that drink, as long as it's not one of those green shots. Don't knock them till you've tried them. They taste better. They taste better than they look. Somehow I doubt that, but I hold my tongue long enough for Leander to go behind the bar. It's lying, isn't he? When I glance at Ice, he only shrugs. Like I said, they were chewy. Probably poisoned, too. He considers his own drink, a tumbler of amber-colored whiskey. Leander's tried to kill me a dozen times by now. It's always a gamble. Fear clicks his tongue in disapproval. When he finally looks my way, it's with a half-lidded gaze softened by his third glass of champagne. Were I you, I wouldn't let Leander put anything in my mouth. Fans his fingers over his chest, voice dripping with fake reverence. The Wet Wick is one of the finest drinking establishments in all of Iridia. While you're here, you may as well partake of the signature watered-down drinks and stale nut leather. He sweeps his hand towards a chipped ceramic bowl filled with spindly, speckled jerky that I can only assume is nut leather. What is with the food in this city? As abysmal as you make it sound, this place is completely packed. Yippee! It's not all bad. Depending on the day, the food's edible. Ice takes a measured sip of his drink. Gotta stick around for the real attractions, though. Before I can ask what he means, Leander returns with a tumbler that he sets in front of me. Uneven chunks of ice bob in a pool of reddish-purple alcohol. I eye the drink suspiciously. Better not be another disgusting concoction of Leander's. Relax, it's just a local specialty. Plum gin. Although if you're feeling more adventurous... I shake my head. Leander raps his knuckles against the bar until the group falls silent. Alright, everyone. Let's toast. May Nix's stay in Iridia be full of bright adventures and discoveries. Cheers! Leander, Ice, and Vera raise their glasses in unison. Min only crosses their arms, and Curris watches with polite indifference. I tip back my drink. The plum gin is eye-wateringly strong. Despite a sharp medicinal edge, it goes down smooth. One sip softens the edges of my vision. The next fades the din of the crowded bar into a low, persistent murmur. Find myself unwinding for what feels like the first time in years. Aren't you the popular one, Nix? Guessing you met Curris first. It would be more accurate to say that I found her. He saved my life. I merely performed my duty as a doctor. Although I must admit that I was confused when I woke up missing all my clothes. Leander makes a choked noise. Someone behind him, Min sighs. Does alcohol work that fast? No. For the most part, I would say no. In my experience, it does take a second. I mean, maybe if it's strong enough, it hits you fast. Like, a pretty strong alcohol will probably hit you pretty fast. And it was strong. So yeah, okay, yeah. No, never mind. That's reasonable. It's not what you think. Nix was in grave condition. I could hardly treat such injuries through tattered clothes. Silence that follows stretches uncomfortably long. I look away, unable to face Curris's disappointment and catch Veer snickering behind his hand. That's my cue to change the topic. Curris isn't the only one who saved me today. Don't you listen? I didn't save you. You were simply... there. That's Min for you. Leander reaches for Min, but they duck under his arm with practiced ease without so much as looking his way. As reliable as they are moody. You want to talk considering you neglected to warn her to stay off the streets at night. Oh, I might have gotten a little distracted. Min's only response is a short breath. At any rate, I never got a chance to thank you, Min. Don't. The less solace alive, the better. For a heartbeat, Min's eyes flick towards Ice, and their lips twist. Ice is too busy nodding along to Veer's enthusiastic pantomime of stabbing to notice. Lost, no doubt, in an enthralling discussion. I've had enough of this hellhole. Let's go. Min and Curris share a brief look, then the doctor speaks up. Very well, but there's something I must discuss with Leander, if you'll excuse us, Nix. And just like that, the three of them depart, leaving me alone to savor my gin in silence. Or so I think until I hear a voice so soft and low it's practically a purr. Lost your tour guide? I turned to find crimson and pink eyes trained on me. It's not lost on me that they chose the instant the others left to strike. Just my luck. I had to be abandoned with the two most irritating people I've met all day. Monsters or not, there's no telling what I'll do if either of them push me again. Don't tell me Leander already snuck off to get his knob slobbered out back. It's crazy. He's got business with Curtis and Min. 2-on-1 business? Isn't he lucky? Can't tell if it's champagne or the company, but Vera's grown noticeably more relaxed. He sits with his chin propped on the back of his hand. His ears twitch whenever a hiccup shakes his shoulders. Why are you so far away? Come, join us. He pats the empty bar stool beside Ice, but I hesitate. The smile Vera wears is sweet and distinctly sly. With drinks in the mix, I dread how he and Ice will mess with me next. We don't bite. I'm not sure about that. Just hours ago, he tried to rob me, and you threatened me. Me steal? Surely you must be mistaken. You sure it was me? Yes, it was you, and then you had the gall to kick me out just so you could go drinking. Gives another one of his shrugs. I was lonely. A simpler answer than I expected, but I guess I can't fault him for that. Veer suddenly slumps forward, gossamer sleeves pooling where he rests his elbows on his knees. Ice sets his hand on Veer's waist, narrowly preventing him from tipping off the counter. Boifs, boifs, boifs. How about we start fresh? Begin with Popper. Popper? Begin with proper introductions, get off on the right foot and whatnot. I'll start. The name's Veer, hunter extraordinaire. Veer's right hand flutters to his chest, and he bows his hand, flinching when hair falls into his eyes. Ice doesn't say anything, so I suppose it's my turn now. I'm certain you already know my name. Hard not to when Leander shouts it every other second. Veer tips back his head and drains the rest of his champagne. It's a pleasure to formally meet you, Nix. He says my name. Oh, sorry. It's a pleasure to finally meet you, Nix. He says my name slowly and deliberately, savoring every syllable. All one. A tingle jumps down my spine. I quickly turn my gaze away. Ice smirks at my reaction over the rim of his glass. Something funny? Nope. I open my mouth and close it just as quickly. They want me to react, goading me into another ridiculous game. While their sharp cat-like eyes keep me on edge, something about this tension is fun. Is it now? Must be the gin. Flash of white over Ice's shoulder catches my eye. Across the bar, Curtis heads for the door. I don't see Leander or Min, but it feels wrong to let him leave without saying goodbye. I'll be back. Vera hums and wags his fingers at me as I leave. I slip through the crowd, careful not to touch anyone, but just as I'm nearing Curtis. Ugh! I stagger, shoulder checked by a man with a neck thicker than both my thighs. He stares down at me, nostrils flaring. Out of my way, shit stain. My words spill out on their own. You watch it! I regret them as soon as they leave my mouth. That fucking gin. The roughneck wheels around, shoving a bloodhound out of the way so he can close in on me. What did you say? He shoves me backwards, sending me stumbling to the sticky floor. I'm fine, but my heart leaps into my throat when I see the roughneck bearing down on me. You trying to start something here? Or is that him? Testing out saying my name in seductive ways, and it's just making you feel silly? What a crazy thing to tell me about. Roughneck freezes, his fist cocked back. A group of bloodhounds called by the commotion circle him, sizing him up. For what feels like an agonizingly long moment, the roughneck looks from me to the bloodhounds. Finally, he sniffs and spits on the floor next to me. The lob narrowly misses my cheek. Screw it. Too many freaks in this circus tonight. He turns his back on me. Comes face to face with Ice. Dangerous smile spreads across his face. You'll do. What happens next is a blur. Ice's fist crashes into the roughneck's jaw, causing an eruption of gasps, shouts, and even cheers around us. I scramble to my feet right as the frantic crowd swarms me, cutting off my sight of everything and everyone. If I were going to have any comments right now, I wouldn't be able to make them because my dogs are barking, and so I can literally only focus on reading right now. They are just unnecessarily rowdy. Through the ruckus, I hear Leander shouting, "Hey, hey, Ice, take it outside! Ignore them, everyone. Look, drinks are on me!" With those 4 words, the wick erupts with hoots and hollers. The ring around me disperses as bloodhounds and onlookers rush towards the bar. Through the thinning crowd, I catch glimpses of familiar faces. Ice vanishes out the back, dragging the roughneck behind him. Hurst lingers near the door, searching, I suspect, for any wounded before he departs. Maiden draws her hood up tight and they slip out a side door, while Vera leans over the counter to swipe a glass of wine from behind the bar. Leander, seated at the opposite end of the bar, gestures dramatically and apologetically at the bartender. Ooh, excuse me. In the space of a heartbeat, I realize there's no telling when or if I'll see any of them ever again. Whoever I presume may be the last person I get to speak to tonight, I follow. Oh, shit! Who do I follow? Oh, fuck. This is tough. This is a tough choice. Foxboy, I'm tempted to go with Foxboy. Ice just defended me. Curtis and Min are, like, leaving. So, while I'm sure I could follow either of them, they're making it pretty clear they've got their own stuff to do. And I think I'm following just kind of logically what I would do. I feel like whoever I choose right now is likely to be, like, the person that I pursue for the demo. But I think I'll go logically, and I feel like Ice, Veer, and Leander are the people that make most sense to go with. I shared a really intimate moment with Leander before. I think honestly, like, also just from a self, here's how I'm justifying going to Veer, story-wise. Veer made a comment about, like, you better be careful, not show anyone else what you've got going on. And we kind of took it as a warning that we could become, like him, chained up as far as the Cenobium, is that what they're called, is concerned. So I feel like it makes sense in that sense also to go with Veer. So let's do it. Of all the people I've met, only one left me with more questions than answers. That's not true. Ice also left me with more questions than answers. Veer knows more than he's letting on, I'm certain of it. If he's feeling as playful as he was earlier, I might be able to get information out of him. Still, lingering doubt looms heavy over my decision. Can I really trust someone who lies so readily? Turning to the bar is slow work with the heavy crowd vying for drinks. When I find Veer, he's leaning against the counter with his elbows propped on the edge and a wine glass raised to his lips. Not for the first time I catch myself staring, and judging by the looks I see thrown his way, I'm not the only one. Yet there's a clear ring around Veer no one else seems bold enough to cross. One ear perks at the sound of my approach, but Veer doesn't so much as look my way even when I slide onto the seat beside him. I didn't think he planned on sticking around. A free drink's a free drink, even if it tastes like rat piss. Didn't you say you wouldn't be caught dead slumming in this shithole? Veer takes a delicate sip from his glass, but his tail thrashes below the bar. You've caught me red-handed. He peers at me over the rim of his glass. In the low light, his eyes glitter jewel-bright with amusement. There's, like, crap in my throat, making this difficult. However will you punish me? Okay. I figured my company's punishment enough for you. Veer's lips twitch and he smiles despite himself. So, you survived the night. Are you here for praise, or will a head pat do? Feel a muscle in my jaw flex at the cruel twist to his smile. His arrogance has made a full recovery, meaning only one thing. Veer is sobered up. So much for my plan. About that. Turns out you were right, I did run into trouble. Now I can't decide if you're an oracle, an actual threat, or just completely full of shit. Veer scoffs. Most women would buy me a drink before insulting me. After the way you jerked me around, if anyone's owed a drink, it's me. Veer falls so uncharacteristically quiet for a moment, I fear that I've actually crossed a line. He props his chin on his wrist. I don't think you understand how things work here. Information is a luxury, one you flung carelessly aside. I'm not following. If you valued my words, you'd have taken them seriously. I gave you free advice, warned you of the danger you were in, and still you went prancing off to the sea spring. Small wonder the Solus didn't tear you to ribbons. My first impulse is to argue, but what he said doesn't sit well with me. How does he know what happened to me? How'd you know I left? I'm certain I wasn't being followed when I left. I have a very sensitive nose, remember? Right. How could I forget? Do you normally greet people by shoving your nose into their laps like an overeager Labrador? For a heartbeat, Veer's eyes grow wide and flat. Then he laughs under his breath. Only the ones I like. Veer trades his empty wine glass for a long-abandoned tumbler sweating beside him. Soft lumps of ice bob in the watery dregs of whiskey. The truth is, I despise most people. His eyes flicker over my shoulder and thin as Leander's boisterous laughter erupts from the other side of the bar. What about me, now that we've started off on the right foot? Turns, angling so he can look me over. His gaze is agonizingly slow as it glides over me. Finally, his lips quirk. I haven't made up my mind about you yet. It's a start, or so I think until his eyes slide away and he turns back towards the bar. It's not Veer's attitude that bothers me. No, I expected that of him. It's the fact that I've got no idea I'm supposed to hold a conversation, much less get answers when he's being so testy. His foul mood is infectious. Did I do something to piss you off? Let's out a short breath. No. Another lie. I'm close enough to catch the subtle bristling of his tail. I'm just disappointed. People like us can't help but attract danger. You seek it out, and for what? Cheap thrills. I wasn't trying to get eaten by Solus. There's something I'm looking for. And you think Min can help you? Leander, are you really willing to risk your life with those dipshits? What life? You've got no idea what I've gone through, or forget it. I start to rise, but Veer touches my shoulder. It's a little more than a brush, but enough to give me pause. His eyes search mine, softer somehow than before. They couldn't even begin to understand you. But I could. I could help you, if only you'd listen. How do I know I can trust you? You don't, but I'm slightly less inclined to waste your time with empty flattery or insults than those two. Is what you desire really worth whisking? Let's try that again. Is what you desire really worth risking your life for? If you knew the kind of life I've lived, you wouldn't be asking. Veer considers the condensation sweating from his glass for a long moment before speaking again. Will you trust me? For now. Good enough for me. Veer raises the tumbler to me and then snaps back the dregs. Once he's finished, he wipes his mouth with the back of his hand. Let's talk. Outside. If I have to smell Leander's skunky aftershave for much longer, I'll hurl. With that, he slips away from the bar, leaving me to follow the path of his long, trailing tail through the cloud. Cloud? Crowd. So close. So cold outside, the breeze cuts clean through my bandages, freezing my fingers. But if the chill bothers Veer, he doesn't show it. He lopes purposely down the street into an alley. This far from the wick, the bar's racket is little more than an indistinct hum. I want clout. I do. It's true. Streets as dead as the Amaryllis district was crowded. Did Veer want privacy or no witnesses? You had questions. Ask. Veer's breath mists in the dark. In the cold moonlight, his shadow stretches unnaturally long over the cobblestone street. Quickly, I've got a show to attend. Heavenly Lutist, as I'm sure I've mentioned. He looks down his nose at me, effortlessly imperious with one hand set on his hip. And for a breath, I'm reminded of the stark want that gleamed in his eyes when he touched me. If he weren't so pretty, I'd walk away. It's true. But I need answers, and I can't think of a better way than starting with the people I've met earlier. If Veer doesn't prove trustworthy, maybe one of them will. First, I ask about... Let's ask about Ice. What do you two have going on? I'd like to know more about Ice. You two seem close. He made an impression. Not surprising. He's strong, ruthless, easy on the eyes. Gives it almost as well as he takes it, even if he's awfully greedy. Hello? Okay. Big everywhere, really. Thanks for the information, but also genuinely thanks, and I'm normal. I'm normal about you just telling me about this. It's simple, but you know what they say about still waters. I don't, but I'm too distracted by the change that's come over Veer to ask. A coy smile plays at his lips as he a coy smile plays at his lips as he winds a finger around the chain dangling from his collar. Thought you didn't like most people. Ice isn't most people. He's better. Our eyes meet and Veer's tender expression curdles. He makes a tiny sound of distaste in the back of his throat. He's more trouble than he's worth. Dangerous, too. Stay far away from him and those red-eyed freaks if you value your safety or your sanity. Wow. Is that why you scolded me for going to the Sea Spring? I really don't think Ice is as bad as you're saying. You don't know him. Not like I do. The corner of his lip twitches. I don't care about anyone else. Now let's learn more. Oh, excuse me. I inhaled spit. Got to admit, I was surprised to see that you and Min know each other. Are you friends? Oh, yes. We laugh and go shopping and have sleepovers where we braid each other's hair and kiss with a little tongue. I'm beginning to wonder if Veer's ever had friends. Let me guess, you don't like them. Can't stand them. The first time we met, they stabbed me. Slid cold, hard steel between my ribs. Nearly nicked my heart. It was exquisite. Hello? The knife, I mean. Some sort of antique. Min's done nothing but disappoint me ever since. I am doing so much reading, I'm already losing my voice. I was like, oh, I'll go until the end of the night, take a quick break, eat a cookie, drink some more water. So if my Veer slips, that's why. Min is your favorite now? Real. So you're not close. Can you imagine me being friends with that crabby little killjoy? Impossible. Not unless they learn to lighten up. I'm afraid not even a surgeon as practiced as curse could remove the stick wedged firmly off. Whoa, okay. I wish I read that normally. I'm afraid not even a surgeon as practiced as curse could remove the stick wedged firmly up Min's pert ass. What do you think about Leander? I don't. An usually curt answer for Veer. I don't buy it. So you're not very fond of him? I wouldn't spit on Leander if he were on fire. Veer shudders. Oh no, he'd enjoy that far too much. To call Leander trash would be an insult to manure. He's a pathetic, slimy little man-child in big, shiny shoes. I've seen much rutting in gutters with more dignity. I have to remember to close my mouth. Before I can ask my next question, Veer gives a frustrated growl. Don't you dare ask me about another soul. I haven't got all night for idle gossip. But I wasn't finished asking. You get 2 more questions. Make them count. So much for being helpful, but I suppose it's just how information works in this exhausting city. No more time for idle chatter. I'll get straight to the point. Leander told me that the Cenobium imprisons people. Did he mean you? Leander's a moaning fool with a throbbing victim complex. He loves to see himself as a savior, but the only difference between his cronies and the Cenobium stooges are the uniforms. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what surprises me more, the bluntness with which Veer spoke or the venom lacing his ordinarily silken voice. You're asking who when you should be asking why. Says the asshole counting my questions. The look he throws me is infuriatingly self-satisfied. Fine, why were you imprisoned? For the same reason they'll disappear you given half the chance. I'm something special. Veer bows his head, gathering his hair in his hands and lifting it from his shoulders to bare the plain leather collar adorning his neck. See this collar? He cranes his neck, inviting me to lean closer. Looks unremarkable, doesn't it? I'd assumed that Veer's collar was a personal touch. On closer glance, the thick, supple leather is molded to fit his neck snugly. But the large silver buckle seems easy enough to pry open. I'm gonna touch it! I reach forward to touch the buckle, but Veer's hand lashes out. Long, slender fingers wrap around my wrist, exerting just enough pressure to hint at how easily he could snap my bones. Okay. Don't you know better than to touch without asking? He tuts like a scolding teacher, but an impish smile grazes his lips. That would be crazy! Can you imagine? Can you imagine if I just immediately went straight to begging? That's crazy. Nah, I'm not doing that, though. You didn't ask me first, so why should I? Our eyes meet and he grins. Because I said so. That's not very fair. Fuck fairness. Life's not fair. His voice lowers to a pleased rumble. Patience, Nix. I'll tell you when and how you can touch me. Behave, or I'll make you bleed. All right. He says it with a smile so sweet it hurts. Is that a threat or a promise? Fear doesn't answer me, but he lets go of my arm. I smooth down my bandages, more to get a grip than anything else. I can't lose my composure again. By now, I'd fully expected Veer to begin walking away, but the fact that he's still here, excuse me, I suggest that he either forgot about his warning, or he was never counting my questions to begin with. Are you saying that's what'll happen if Snowbeam finds out I'm different? Oh my god. Please, Air, stop. That I'll be collared? Doubtful. They keep me around because I'm the best at what I do. What exactly do you do so well? Killing. He says it carelessly without hesitation. As long as I wear this collar, I'm made to hunt the Snowbeam's dizzying array of enemies. Monsters, soulless, noisy dissidents who grow overbold. I'm bound by their will until the day I die. That's awful. Fear murmurs in agreement. It is, isn't it? That's all you're getting from me. I really must leave now. I'll be late. That's it? Why did you bring me here if you weren't going to explain anything? He has the nerve to laugh. Isn't that obvious? I wanted to lure you out here alone so I could eat you. You're lying again. And you're asking far too many questions for someone hiding so much. He sneers, and reflexively I shove my hands deep into my cloak. What makes you think I'm hiding anything? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's the tough act or the way you tense up at the slightest provocation. More likely it's the bandages, not exactly subtle. I'll be going, unless you're willing to share some morsels with me. There's a biting edge to his playful tone. I can't tell you anything. Wrong. You can start with what you are. Take a step backward, but... My back hits a wall as Veer follows me in lockstep. I turn only to find his left hand resting on the wall beside my head, caging me in. Okay. Alright. Veer reaches for me. His fingers curl around my chin and lift, forcing me to meet his lidded gaze. Man, you need to stop. Hey, man. Hey, man, you can't keep doing that. Would you believe me if I said that the eyes are windows to the soul? My eyelid twitches. Cliché, I know, but let me tell you a little secret. Veer leans in until his lashes tickle my cheek and the warm, faintly spiced scent of his hair drowns out the stench of greasy cooking fires and chimney smoke. There's nothing you can hide from me. His voice is so low, so supple I could slip into it. The betrayal, the loss of hope, the sheer desperation that drives you still to search and search to no end. I could give you something new to live for. I swallow thickly. How could he possibly know? No, this must be some kind of trick. But for once, Veer isn't smiling. All that suffering has made your soul so irresistible. His piercing eyes pin me to the spot. The look on his face makes my blood run cold. I've seen it before. Traveling through the wastes, the lanterns would occasionally reveal carcasses picked clean by starving scavengers whose eyes shone in the dark with the same ravenous hunger. Veer takes a shuddering breath. You're trembling. What if you and I went somewhere quieter, alone? I mean... I mean... Listen, before I was like, beg, just out of nowhere? Right now? Please? Yeah, take me away, please. Take me wherever you would like, Veer. Okay. I'm sick of running, of hurting, of suffering. Surrendering completely is the easiest thing I've ever done. Before I can finish, Veer hushes me. A gloved thumb runs across my lips, bringing the taste of leather when it dips into my mouth.
Okay. Okay. Alright. Good. He bends closer and closer. Through the gauzy veil of his hair, I see shadows spread in whirls of smoke, eddies of darkness peeling off the walls and blooming to blot out the moon. Sensation flees with the light, leaving me numb to everything except the sudden pressure of a hand tightening around my throat. Dude. Okay. Something snaps, and the bitter tang of copper floods my mouth. Veer's lips crush mine as he swallows the reedy thread of my final breath. This time death comes swiftly and permanently. Oh! Okay. Oh, sweet. I didn't save. Oh. Oh, but it just brings me back here. Okay. My bad. Well, okay, that was really hot, and then he killed me, which was also kind of hot, but damn. Okay. Let's scroll. My bad. I didn't mean to scroll past the end. Okay, no thanks. Part of me wants nothing more than to let him take me, to surrender completely to him. It would be so easy. But I'm not about to give up now. I think I didn't realize what I was agreeing to. You're late. Ludist. Veer blinks. His voice comes out soft and breathy. Shame. He eases back from what feels like the first time since he cornered me. I breathe, but my relief is short-lived. Nimble fingers trail down my jaw before closing around my throat. It touches featherlight and teasing, but my pulse still leaps. Veer's lips twitch into a smile, his white-ringed pupils thinning with amusement. You're fun, Nix, even if you frequently forget your place. But if you ever call me a dog again, I'll break you. Understood? When I narrow my eyes at him, he smiles wide enough to flash his sharp white fangs, as much a warning as a smirk. As soon as Veer releases me, I sink against the alley wall to catch my breath. He looks down on me, his expression distinctly smug. Let's get one thing straight. I ate a monster 3 times your size for breakfast. 2, actually. The first tasted dreadful, like a fisherman's old ashtray, but that's beside the point. You and I may be alike, but don't ever forget what I am or what I do best. He flashes me a dazzling smile. Nix? Anyone seen Nix? Who? Who is this? Leander's voice echoes from the direction of the wick. I whip around. I nearly call back before remembering Veer's apparent distaste for Leander. I glance back at Veer. Only he's gone, vanished into the dark. I'm left in the deserted alley, trembling with a delirious mixture of exhaustion and excitement. Is that what it is? Fuck. Let out a long, shaky exhale that condenses in the freezing air. Only once my racing heartbeat slows do I make my way back towards the wick, guided by the distant sound of Leander's voice. Choose your fate. Huh? Wait, what do you mean? Choose my fate? Wait, what do you mean choose my fate? Is this like who I'm gonna, like, go with? So have I just taken this time to learn some things about one person and now I choose who I go with? I guess he also told me about other people. I feel like I go all in, right? Despite their cold nature and familiarity with violence, Min is just as desperate as you to get into the Cenobium. You may be able to help each other, but they're keeping as many secrets as you. They claim they're dangerous, but could they be your only chance at getting into the Cenobium? From all appearances, Curse is a principal doctor of extraordinary skill, but you know little about the man beneath a professional mask, and Curse keeps even his friends at a cool distance. If you uncover his deepest secrets, will you like what you find? An intimidating yet laid-back outsider, Ayes provides over a sea spring with unnerving powers. He offers you a miracle, but the price means submitting yourself to the horrifying presence at the heart of the spring. Will you gaze into the abyss for answers, even at the risk of losing yourself? Leander offers you something that should be impossible, a taste of normalcy free of your curse. As the first person to withstand your touch, he could change your life, but some things are simply too good to be true. Leander promises to help unravel your curse, but at what cost? I also really like Leander. Leander is definitely the most normal guy. And he is the least concerning. Does that make him the most boring, though? Veer serves as a warning of the dangers posed by the Cenobium. As cunning as he is curious, Veer finds you fascinating and insists that you can help.
but trusting him means entrusting your life to a collared beast with a lethal reputation. Can Veer protect you, or is honeyed words a trap waiting to snap shut? I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna go with Veer. I mean, it's not even a question. That's who I'm going for right now. Let's keep it up. Oh! We can't keep it up. That's it. That's the extent of the demo. I see. That was very fun. That was very, very fun. Do we want to do another run? Do we want to look at a little more, see what else we can look at, or are we satisfied with our little look through of our experience? I know whatever we're doing, I need a minute to recover my voice a little bit. Snack on something or something. Let's get the music back on now that we're here. There we go. I didn't realize that there was no more, but that makes sense. That's a lot for a demo, I have to say. So obviously there's more that I could look into. This is really good. I really like it. I wish I got to experience the music. Maybe I'll play a little bit of this on my own and check out the music along the way. So yeah, this is just a demo. I don't know when the game is coming out. I recommend you check it out for yourself. I'm not like sponsored or anything, but it seems really cool. I really like it. I'm a big fan of it. I have it wishlisted. Very fun. Very, very fun. I'm gonna take a minute. Eat my cookie here. Honestly, I think I'm satisfied with that short little run through. That was a fun little demo. A bit of a short start. Maybe I can be happy with that for the night. Oops. I forgot that it would turn the music off when I click away. So, yeah, I think I'll head out after that. I feel I've exercised my chops a bit, and with my throat kind of dying a little bit, probably good to give it a break. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you feel like you don't have enough me content, you can always go to the VODs channel, TRGOTSVODS on YouTube, to watch VODs from the past while of me playing all kinds of other games. We've done a lot of Celeste. There's also some Emily VODs. I guess Emily also playing all kinds of other games. Done a little bit of Celeste. We have some Risk of Rain recently. We just finished doing Undertale Yellow. There's a lot of good things to go check out. Bunch of edited videos on the YouTube channel. I'm kind of like losing energy. I feel like I'm like half spaced out trying to give outro stuff. There's 2 edited videos on the main channel. Those Random Gals. I always forget if it's Those Random Gals Off the Street is the link, right? I can put in things. I should put in the things. Yeah, it's Those Random Gals Off the Street. See, I know my own YouTube channel name. You can also, if you want to see stuff from me outside of streaming, I mean, for one, you can go to the Discord where me and other fans of the stream hang out a bit and chat. You can also go follow me on Tumblr at nixisnotafictive.tumblr.com. You can also follow the stream Tumblr, or the channel Tumblr that gets definitely used all the time, those random gals on stream.tumblr.com. Or if you feel like you'd like to know a little bit about the other person in the system who does some streaming, you can go to that random gal off the street on Tumblr. Let me go ahead and put all of those in as well. Yeah, honestly, I think I'm pretty happy with the first stream of October. It was a very fun time. I got to be I got to engage in a little bit of faggotry with some pretty boys. Yeah, I think I'm just satisfied with that. I'm a little tired and my throat's a little tired, so I'm gonna head out. Have a nice rest of y'all's day, friends.